Raptors Digest. What's up and welcome back. We're at home versus the Washington Wizards. We're currently sitting at a record of 10-13, coming off a nice W versus the Bucks, who didn't play their best basketball without Giannis Antetokounmpo. But as the old saying goes, you can only play who's in front of you. You take care of business on home court and beat the Bucks. You've got a pretty nice homestand coming up. After the Bucks, it's going to be the Kings and the Knicks. I don't know which order, but this is a homestand that might be able to get you back to 500. But it starts tonight with getting a W versus Washington, who it looks like they've come back to earth a little bit. They're 14-9, but in their last 10 games, they're 4-6. They come out and blow the expectations out of the gate. But I think that Washington, although they are very solid, you basically get a whole new team shipped to you for Russell Westbrook from the Lakers. They got a bunch of starters, a bunch of good bench pieces. I don't see them doing too much in the Eastern Conference right now. And I'm hoping the Raptors can start off their journey to get back to a 500 team in the standings with a win tonight, because you can do it at home over this next stretch. As you can see, I got my bets up. Gary Trent Jr. over 2.5 3-pointers. He had an off night the last game they played against the Bucks. He only hit 2, but Gary's been chucking it up all season, and I do think he'll get back into his rhythm. And he always plays good versus the Wizards. I know you guys remember that game winner he had as he pushed off Neto, put it up, got the 3, and it was a W for the Raptors last season. I'm pretty sure when we faced the Wizards the first 2 times this year, he played well as well. So I'm just going to ride that. That's the bet there. And then Scotty Barnes, over 1.5 combined steals and blocks. He's starting to figure out the defensive end of the game, and not just in a one-on-one ISO covering. He's starting to make better reads. That statistically is going up for him. So I'm going to try to ride that momentum as well. But let's see what happens tonight for this group. Fred VanVleet's playing like a debatable all-star. If you guys follow Sideline, it's not Sideline Culture, it's Sideline Sources. That's right. They're a big page. It's run by a Raptors fan, strangely enough. And he's starting his campaign to get Fred VanVleet in the All-Star game. And you love to see that in the media. This is still a big page that's out there in the United States. And you guys let me know, what's the chances of seeing Fred VanVleet go and make the All-Star team this year? Very similar numbers to Beal. He's averaging 20.3 per game. And I mean, the assists are a bit higher than Beal. The defense is a bit better than Bradley Beal. I know I'm just giving this comparison over and over again, but Beal's the perennial guy that's in the All-Star game, and Fred VanVleet's hooping right now. So let's see what happens. And then with a nice bucket that I'm watching right now, I've been just rambling for this entry here into the game, but appreciate everybody who's already watching. We got 21 live viewers. Pascal Siakam's at the line here, about to make the lead 5-2 for the Toronto Raptors early into this home matchup. And I got to say, I really appreciate this being on at 6 p.m. right now, because I got to work so early tomorrow. This was a hidden blessing. But as I've said before, guys, it's going to be really good post-Christmas when I'm not working and I can be on here even earlier, longer, doing everything I really want to do with the channel. But for everybody who's supported me so far, I mean, it's so appreciated and it's been a lot of fun. So definitely stick around, guys. And if you are watching right now, drop an early little like spike. It's going down. Appreciate everybody who showed out. I'm going to check the chat right now. We already got Tom Moreau, Shayar, Brad Brady, Marcel Martin in the building, Jeremy W. I'll answer these in a sec, but right now, Wizards with the ball. Dinwiddie misses. Precious Achiuwa there to go and get the rebound. They gave him a bit of a pregame feature tonight, mentioning that he was a Giants of Africa player growing up, which is obviously a global initiative, which is headed by Masai Ujiri, who's very passionate about getting players out of Africa to come play overseas. There's so much talent that's just under the radar living in Africa at the moment, so Masai Ujiri has really made it his purpose as a human to go and get these guys into the NBA and avenues that are benefiting them with basketball. So you got to love to see Precious Achiuwa getting on this roster. I'm a big fan of Precious. I don't have the propaganda animation right now, but I've definitely defended him throughout this season, being so young and new to the team. I'm pleased with him. There's a lot of work to go, don't get me wrong, but a big night for Masai Ujiri, who's got the Giants of Africa logo out there on the court. Tom Moreau saying, have to build off last victory. A win tonight would be huge psychologically. I agree completely. I mean, I opened up this video talking about how if we win this homestand, which is feasible, right? You got the Kings and the Knicks after this. I talked about how being 4-6 in your last 10 might be resembling what would be a team falling back to earth a little bit for Washington. They started out super hot. I know they still don't have Hachimura and a couple other guys. I think Bryant's still out. But this is the bulk of your team, and it looks like they're fitting into probably where they should be. I think they'll be above 500, but it'll be close. And tonight, if you can beat them like you have already this season, then you get on your own road to back to 500. We're being indecisive on what we want to see, but as a Raptors fan, I'm always going to cheer for the team to go out and win. And if we lose, then naturally I'll be happy to see us, retool and getting draft picks. But number one option is always to see W's. I think I speak for everybody when I say that. So hoping to see one tonight. And I already see some chatter about the Leafs in here right now. I mean, I know the Leafs lost last night, but come on, guys. They're balling out. I'm going to use a basketball analogy here to describe how hot the Leafs are. They've got swagger. They've got the most wins in the NHL. Even when they lose now, they're picking up points in overtime. They had their first shootout last night. I mean, it was a really entertaining game. Jason Spezza proving us wrong at age 40, just going out and getting 3 points, 2 goals, and an assist. I won't rant about hockey for too long, but last night, even though we lost, it was a great feeling for the Leafs, and we're losing the right way now, or losing the right way. You're playing the right way, so when you lose, you can accept it easier. The Leafs teams of old have been painful to watch, just terrible hockey fundamentals, but feels great to be in this spot in Toronto, and I know the Raptors are a bit of a reverse story where we're building up a younger team that, already won, so we've got that, but we got to be patient over on this side. Leafs side, not so much. That team never gets patience. Marcel Martin saying, bing bomb, goody mob. We're in the building, man. I'll turn on the flames for Marcel, who is riding this bet tonight with me. You guys already know. Marcel and I are trying to get paid, so if you see the bet, it's Gary Trent over 2.5 3-pointers, Scotty Barnes over 1.5 steals and blocks combined. So defensive stats will get me to that number once there's 2 for Scotty. Then hopefully we're cashing our parlay. Caldwell Pope with the ball. Sends it over to Dinwiddie. Washington misses the 3-pointer, and we're coming back the other way. Fred VanVleet, the hopeful all-star with the ball, finding Pascal, who's backing down KCP. All right, Pascal. Torch him in the post here. Spin on him. Oh, pulls out the spin. Misses the mid-range, but nice putback by Precious Achiuwa. I always say he's got to gather those rebounds a bit more, but it benefits him there. He knocks it up off the glass, and it goes into the hoop for the putback. 2 points for Toronto. I do say, as a general rule of thumb, I would love to see Precious go up strong a bit more and bring that ball back down, but when you play the 5 spot at 6'9", you are undersized. So I'll take the hustle either way. Dinwiddie, guarded by 2 Raptors, and then Caldwell Pope missing the shove shot in the paint. We got Scotty Barnes with the ball. Finds Precious in the paint. Go up, Precious. Just misses the mid-range J. Jeff for Sale 1 saying, what's up? How's the game looking tonight? So far, pretty good. It's 11-4. It's 6:30 left here in the first quarter. Montrezl Harrell misses another shot there. He was a problem when they beat us on opening night. He's been really good. A 6th man of the year, a guy who's won it before. Probably going to contend again. I saw him there in the betting odds a while ago. And Fred VanVleet, I'm getting this campaign going as well. Freddie V for All-Star hits a big 3-pointer, forces Washington to call a timeout. It feels good early here at Scotiabank, and I got to shout out Zach Phillips, my co-host for the Leafs Digest, who is in the building right now with media credentials. Yes, he's working with BetStamp, which is the company. It's a gambling platform that he's employed by, but soon enough, Raptors Digest is getting their own media credentials and heading down to Scotiabank. But shout out Philly, who's down there right now. It's going to be a fun game for him to see live. And Marcel Martin, I can't tell if this is him re-upping on the GOAT tier membership right now. I think it is. So I'm going to just drop a super chat anyways because that deserves some recognition. Marcel saying, do you think Raptors fans are too harsh on Precious, even though he's only a second-year center who still needs to develop? I think we are at times. For the most part, Raptors fans, we're Canadians from all over, so we tend to be pretty nice. I know Marcel isn't Canadian, but Raptors Digest and Raptors Nation, all of us have really good vibes, I feel like, when it comes to just wanting the team to do well, being pretty wholesome with it. I know we trash on Siakam a fair bit, but any team that cares about the practicals, you're going to need to speak up when a player's underperforming compared to their pay grade. But with a guy like Precious, you said it yourself. He's in his second year. He's a little bit undersized for the position we have him playing. And at the end of the day, he works his tail off. It doesn't always work out, but the hustle is there. He seems to be very self-critical. He seems to step. I love his mentality, and you saw it come out at the Olympics where he's blocking KD, helping Nigeria get wins over teams that have won gold medals. I think there's a lot to be excited about, and especially considering we could have just had Kyle Lowry walk. I understand the sign and trade benefited Miami, but there was a reality that we could have lost him for nothing, and I will take Precious Achiuwa as a long-term piece back. I think Once everything's sorted out with this group and we're back to our contending ways, Precious will be the center coming off the bench, but we already know that's an incredibly important role, and we've got to see Serge Ibaka dominate from that role as last time with the Raptors, who I really miss. Everyone misses Serge. I miss all the extracurriculars he would do with the team. There's so much gold out there of him and OG Anunoby, the scarf scandals, and then the How Hungry Are You show. Serge Ibaka did it all for this organization, this city. He's definitely missed, and I can say I'm not a Clippers fan whatsoever, but anytime I see him succeeding, I'm happy. He's been injured for a long time in LA, but shouts out Precious Achiuwa. We hope he can become similar to what Serge was and how he impacted this team. And T-Bird Brad saying, love Precious. Jeff Versale, one pointing out, we do need a true big man. That's definitely accurate, and I think at that point that we get him, as I said, Precious will kick back to the bench and start to find that role with our group, but we don't have it right now, so that's why I'm saying can't be as difficult with Precious and critical. Obviously, he's going to be critical of himself. I get that fans will be frustrated, but at the end of the day, everyone knows. Let's just hold on to this kid and work on him a bit. And then make him into the sixth man of the year that Montrezl Harrell is. Dinwiddie with the ball right now, covered by Van Vliet. Finds Beal, back out to Dinwiddie. They got some shooters on this roster. I'm hoping Scotty Barnes can pick up those defensive stats for me tonight. Kuzma cuts, down low to Beal and misses. Washington's had some trouble scoring on the Raps here. They've gotten some decent looks. Scotty from three, just off the front of the rim. I'm so happy to see this guy using his range now. I've mentioned it before in previous podcasts, but it's like he's taken different parts of the season to work on different things. And now it's definitely the three-point shooting. And there we go. I believe Scotty Barnes picking up a block for me there. Either way, Washington doesn't score. Toronto's now on offense. All right, jack that up, Scotty. Instead, he defers, gives it down to Achiuwa in the post, who's guarded by Beal. That's a bit of a mismatch. And Precious doesn't make him pay. Gets a good look, but misses with his left. Tom Moreau saying Precious is a solid center to develop, but I'd like to see a veteran center on this team. Eventually, for sure. I think, Washington just scores. I believe it's Dinwiddie who gets the bucket. It's 14-6 with 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Toronto is leading. Genfro asking, why isn't Champagny getting any time? Champagny just had a 30-something point game in the G League with a bunch of rebounds. He was already a really good rebounder at the NBA level, considering his size. But yeah, they're taking their time. There's a lot of young guys to feed on this roster, and Champagny out of them is probably one of the ones with a bit of a lower ceiling. But if he keeps steadily grinding down in the G League, he will get his opportunity. I mean, Pascal, Siakam, Fred VanVleet, Chris Boucher, Norman Powell, the list goes on. We've had to make a bunch of different players earn their stripes, and it's definitely the case with Champagny. But we know that doesn't write him off from impacting at the next level. But I get why he has been down there. He'll get more benefit there than playing like an ambitious 5 to 8 minutes with us. And a lot of that may be in garbage time. But even if you played him more, it's still not going to be that much. Let him do his thing down in the G League. And Gary Trent Jr., you guys know we needed that. Bangs the three. Wraps up 17-9. And I think that's the first three-pointer he's hit tonight. Pretty sure. So chalk that off on our bets. We got 2 more to go for that to be a cash. Dinwiddie tries to respond with a 3. Just misses. And it's rebounded by Pascal. Slows it down. All right, he's being guarded by Dinwiddie. Looks like he's going to go to the basket. Backing him down. Shove shots just short, and Dinwiddie rebounds it. And shout out to the 45 live viewers we have watching right now. Marcel Martin saying, I love Precious. I just hate the criticism because we need to be patient with him. I agree. It's natural that fans of the team will be upset, but overall, let's go easy on the kid, right? He just got here. He's very young, and he does have a bright future. T-Bird Brad saying, as long as we have a small PH, we need a true big for sure. Yeah, we definitely do. I mean, the tallest guy on our roster is 6'9", and there's about 3 or 4 guys that are that height, and only a couple of them play center. So it is definitely an undersized group at the top. The way I describe it is our height has a high floor because everybody's pretty tall, but it's got a low ceiling because no one touches that 7-foot mark. And every team that's going to be contending needs a body on their roster who's serviceable at 7 feet, that's capable of taking on these Joel Embiid, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee type matchups, because they do happen, and Giannis Antetokounmpo demands that kind of attention as well, as we saw with Marc Gasol. It's a thing of the future, but I'm fired up about Precious for the time being. T-Bird Brad throwing out Miles Turner. Raptors fans forever have wanted Miles Turner. I don't think it looks great because he's doing so well right now that Indiana, who's not in a contending position, will probably want to keep him. He's only 26, which surprised me and makes me even more hungry to get him on this roster. I just don't see it as likely. But he's making a really good case for, I don't know about Depoy, but he's leading the league right now in blocked shots. He probably would need a better overall defensive team to challenge for that award, but he's doing a whole lot of things out there, including shooting three-pointers. Miles Turner's definitely got game. And I gotta say, the Pacers kind of turned it around a little bit. They're not going to do anything too crazy, but they're a solid team, and it's starting to show more than it did originally. Shayar saying, hey Josh, it's weird how the NBA made it harder to call fouls, and yet Pascal is averaging career-high fouls a game. If the NBA didn't change the rules, he'd probably have fouled out every single game. Yeah, he's laying a ton of fouls. I think he's still getting to the line decent. You're right. I've always credited him as a pretty good perimeter defender. So the traditional type of foul that they were trying to avoid was the pump fake to draw someone in and then you step into the extended defender. So unnatural offensive movements, which the majority of which you saw with like guys like James Harden, Trae Young, even Lillard a bit at the 3-point line. That's who it really affects. But Pascal Siakam's bread and butter is scoring on the interior, so it didn't change his game much. And then inversely, trying to guard it, I still think he's pretty good at getting out there and guarding the perimeter. That's one of his actual skill sets on defense. So thankfully, I think it was already a strength of his getting out and not fouling. So I've noticed it being pretty decent, regardless of how much he is laying on the personal fouls right now. He always gets caught in the paint. That's his issue. So that rule in general on offense and defense, I feel like doesn't affect Pascal quite as much because he's already done a great job of getting out to the 3-point line. I mean, during the NBA Finals, that's something I really noticed about Siakam was his ability to deter 3-point shots from the Warriors. But anyways, I'm rambling about fouls and Pascal. We got 46 live viewers, and the Raps are up 19-9. I believe they just got a bucket, but I missed it. This has been a nice first quarter, a low-scoring one, I gotta add. And there's Yuta Watanabe disturbing the play, doesn't get a turnover, but he was all over Bertans, and he's fallen back on D here. Bertans back with the ball, to Beal, to Neto. Oh, Neto's a rat, man. Nice little floater for him. He's solid, but I gotta say, he's a rat. I classify him as a rat in the league. Reminds me a little bit of Campazzo, but I respect that game, right? Like, I'm smaller. If I play basketball, I gotta hustle a little harder. Ooh, Yuta Watanabe with a nice little finish off the glass. It's a 10-point lead for Toronto. And Marcel Martin in the chat right now calling for a like spike. So you guys heard the Raptors GOAT himself. Drop a like spike if you guys are watching. And we got 41 live viewers. Jeremy W saying the same thing. Smash that like button, people. Much appreciated. Tom Moreau taking note here of Yuta with the drive. That was a nice bucket for Yuta, and he had some good defense on the other end as well. Big time energy for this team. We're happy to have him back. And the sooner we get back Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, the better. I'm used to talking about when Pascal was sitting, but he's back in the lineup. It's OG Anunoby, who had a great start to the season, who we'd really like to see come back and help us out with winning some games and potentially getting back to 500 here. Who knows what direction this season's going? I think we just need to drop our expectations and let this team play. That's definitely what I've been doing. People getting mad at me last game, though, about almost jinxing it. That thing came down to the wire versus the Bucks. But hey, you got the W. It was a low-scoring one. Chris misses the 3. He might have got a bucket that I didn't see, but him and Svi Mikhailuk got to find some sort of rhythm off the bench here. Two really capable guys, can stretch the floor, do a whole bunch of things. They've been slow. They got to help us off of the bench because I think our bench is still like 29th in the league in terms of scoring, whereas our starters were like top 3 the other day. Got a bit of balancing to do on this team. Our bench is young. We've been knowing this. T-Bird Brad saying, dude, I love Yuta. And then he's also mentioning Kem Birch. He's out as well. So Kem and OG coming back will just totally change up your defensive schema and benefit you big time. Kem Birch has been a bit of a cleanup man on defense and offense. That's the way I've been describing it. He's done a good job of staying calm and anchored when the play breaks and either finishing on offense or on defense, diving on loose balls in last-minute contests. I got to say, Kem Birch got waived, I believe, by Orlando. Maybe they were just doing him a solid, helping him out. I don't know, but they had a crowded front court, made that move, and oh my gosh, it's only benefited the Raptors. He's truly the closest thing we have to a traditional center. Shouts out Kem Birch, man. A Canadian too. Definitely want to see him back out there. Gary for 3. Just misses. That would have been nice. But there we go. Chris Boucher with the offensive rebound. He finds Yuta and puts it in Banton's hands. I saw someone mention something about Banton in the chat earlier. I got to go check that out. Chris misses the midi. Rebounded by Montrez. Marcel asking, when do we get Kem back? I'm not entirely sure. I got to check the reports on that. He doesn't really look that injured. I haven't heard anything. I mean, how do you necessarily look injured without a cast or something on? He's been up and walking, and I think he's still been participating in some practices to a certain capacity. I think he'll be back soon. They've been really tight-lipped about what's going on, though, with injuries. This season especially, they're not giving exact timelines for guys. I think it's different. When teams are looking to contend, they owe a bit more accountability to the fans, giving timelines. Right now, we're just taking zero risks. We're letting everybody get back to 100% before we even think about putting them back out there. Pascal with the ball. In the mid-range, nice bucket over Denny Ogdvia. Raps are up by 11 with 30 seconds left to go here. We're going to get the last shot of the quarter. Neto with the ball. Misses the floater. Don't like Neto, man. Banton, he's guarded by Neto, and he gives it up to Pascal. All right, they're guarding him up way. Ooh. Defensive steal there almost. Who is that? Number 4 on Washington. Getting into Pascal a bit on defense, but Pascal comes back, just misses the floater. 3 seconds left. Neto's going to jack it up. Oh, not in time. Definitely not in time. Yeah, Neto held it way too long there, but good. Raptors are up really big right now. What a dialed-in defensive effort. I got to say, as much as the defense has been locked in, and it's been, nothing easy, I also have noticed that Washington's just kind of missed some open shots. So if that's not going to continue, you'll take it. Why not? You won that quarter 23-12. You're up by 11. No matter which way you put it, that's awesome for the Raptors, but they will come back and start to hit some of those shots they were missing in the first. They're on the road, right? I believe they might have played last night. Regardless of the situation, that's not going to be the long-term trend of this game. So the Raps got to figure it out on offense right now too, because being held to only 23 in the opening quarter isn't great yourself. But hey, the defense is where we're going to hang our hat. But a little bit more O would be good too. So Shayar in the chat saying if Pascal doesn't get traded next 2 seasons, he can't get traded. No one's going to want him in an expiring contract. He's most tradable these next 2 seasons. In terms of value getting back, you're definitely right. But still, at the trade deadline, a team will pick up Pascal Siakam as a rental guy and maybe re-sign him to something more reasonable. You could look at it that way, right? You give 1 year of overpaying for Pascal if you're a contender potentially, and then the next season, let's say you guys win or you go to the finals, there's a good relationship there. Maybe he does want to come back. Well, then all of a sudden you'll get Pascal Siakam on what's probably a bit closer to a true rate. But as a second or third option, right, it's proven. He can win a championship like that. So there will still definitely be teams knocking, but in terms of optimal return, you're probably right that next season or the one after. But once you get closer down to that contract, yeah, the offers might dry up. But there is sort of another side to this argument that might say, well, maybe a team would rather have Pascal Siakam for a limited amount of time when they can fit him into the cap space rather than trying to constantly build around him. So who knows? I don't know, right? You don't want too much of that term because it doesn't look great. But if he is your second or third option, then whatever. He's a net positive. And shouts out the 58 people who are watching right now, guys. This number always steadily climbs throughout the live stream, and it was a fun first quarter. So if you guys are checking it out right now, definitely stick around and drop a like spike. It's the Skyrim arrow, I always say that. But got major love for the fans out here, and I'm hoping to see a W for Toronto. Gary Trent Jr., 2.5 3-pointers. I hit the over. I think he only has 1. And then Scotty Barnes, I don't know if he has a steal or a block, but I'm betting the defensive stats on him over triple your money if we win. Marcel Martin's riding with me. So, and people in the chat saying, Michael C says 12 points in a quarter with the skull emoji. I mean, as much as it was clamps, Washington really sucked in that opening quarter on offense. They're coming back down to earth a little bit. I was shocked to see the way they started, but Svi Mikhailuk hits his first three, man. Flames are back on immediately. In the opening of the game, I said he's someone who's got to figure it out. Him and Chris Boucher have a lot to offer off the bench, and they're not doing it right now. Hopefully he breaks his slump tonight. Bertans misses that. Nice rebound there for Boucher. Good stuff for Svi Mikhailuk. Hey, shouts out Tristan Phipps. He's joined the elite tier. I'll just play the super chat animation. Tristan, welcome to the Raptors Digest official membership tiers community. Much appreciated, man. Happy to have you here, and this is a fun game to do it. Definitely stick out throughout this live stream, man. We appreciate you. Marcel Martin giving him a warm welcome. Tristan saying Kem is a legend. Gotta respect the Canadian. Speaking of which there, Banton missing a floater in the lane. Washington rebounds. They're coming back the other way, but it's 28-12. Wow, that was nice. Okay, someone's got to clarify for me. I do this at least once every game. Who's number 4 on Washington? He's kind of a dog on defense. Got a nice little basket there high off the glass, but Banton's back the other way. Gives it to Chris, who I believe just got a basket. Nice. Chris gets fouled off of a really good pass there by Yuta Watanabe. Great court vision to audible from the shot to finding the cutter in the lane, and Chris is going to be shooting too. Skylar popping into the chat saying, yo, what's up? Skylar, welcome in here, man. 48 live viewers. Happy you're one of them. Definitely stick around. Tom Moreau saying, Boucher actually looks good early. Yeah, he does. I'm happy him and Svi Mikhailuk have already hit a couple shots. Hits his first free throw. He's shooting another. We need these guys on the bench, the leaders like a Svi, like a Chris, to step up the way we've seen them do in previous seasons. Last year, both guys had really good years. We need a little bit of that right now if there's any hope for us pressing for a play-in match or just having a respectable season with some good character wins. They got to help out big time because they haven't been so consistent in the early going of the season. Chris Boucher is in a contract year, so you definitely want to see him figure it out. I'm imagining that he won't stick around with the Raptors, but I'm always going to cheer for Chris Boucher, a champion, a Canadian, a really good player too. He's so entertaining. Raps fans who watched him last year know what he can do. Every reason to want him figuring it out. Dinwiddie misses. Svi's there to rebound it. Oh yeah, he looks like he's going to go right to the basket. Has to turn away, passes it to Boucher, then to Banton. Yuta. We got a good bench unit in right now, and Yuta just misses the mid-range. That was a really nice shot, but Scotty Barnes taps out the rebound. Svi shoots it. Just misses. The Raptors rebounded again, and that's a loose ball foul there on Washington. Oh my God, the Raps are all over the offensive rebounds. I believe they were third in the league for that earlier this year. Or no, they were even second, I think. Pretty crazy. You don't have a 7-footer, but you're still hustling a lot. That's a sign of a team that's pretty determined and with very high motors. Good for them. In the chat saying, bro, it's only 6:30 and it's pitch black outside. Man, it is so depressing sometimes in the winter like that. Oh, Scotty with a great cut. Banton finding him. The rookie's hooking up there for an easy bucket. Love to see that. Great play, but yeah, it's really tough when it gets dark this early out. You need the sunlight for the vitamin C, man. This is science. It sucks when it gets this dark out this early. But hey, the winter's got some appeal of its own. I'm a rare case where I kind of like the snow. Oh, Banton with a tough bucket going coast to coast. Flames are still on for Delano and forces Washington to call a timeout. What a great run here for the Raptors. Washington still only scored 14 points, and my scoreboard has not been working. What am I doing out here right now? There we go. So we're all set up with the scoreboard. What a hot start for Toronto. As I said, 34-14. The rookies are playing good. Svi Mikhailuk and Chris seem to be a bit energized tonight, which we needed. And then Gary Trent Jr., he hits a 3. I'm hoping he can do a few more of those. You guys can see the bet there in the top left corner. T-Bird Brad saying Delano Banton looks like a more developed Tayshaun Prince. Interesting. I think Prince can probably shoot the three a bit better, but I mean, Delano as a rookie has looked great. I heard the Sean Livingston comparison, which is just like spot on in my opinion, but a little bit of Tayshaun Prince is T-Bird Brad saying right now. Okay, I've been clearing this up. Aaron Holiday is number 4. It makes sense that it's one of the Holiday boys because he was digging in on defense. All the Holiday brothers are ballers. I think Justin Holiday is, on Indiana? But just some guys who know how to play two-way basketball. We faced Drew Holiday last night, got the last laugh, but he played really good. I think he put up at least 22 in a really late rally there for the Bucks, but Toronto defending home court, man, getting it done. Yeah, and Marlon clarifying that it's Drew Holiday's brother as well. And T-Bird Brad taking notice of Yuta's defense, fighting hard over screens. Exactly, and he's long like that. So if he can get 1 foot around the screen, he can extend and contest that shot a bit. Yuta Watanabe really impressing me earlier this game. I like Yuta, but I'm never one of those guys that, lives for it. Guys like even like J.E. Skeets, who's on NBA TV, the starters. You guys know who J.E. Skeets is. We had him on the channel. He loves Yuta Watanabe. I've always liked his energy, but I can't say I've ever been like that attached to him as a player. But right now, he is really making a visible difference for our bench's level of energy and just defending everything, contesting. The Dylan Brooks block still sticks out in my head. It's just such a gutsy moment for him. You got to have a short memory as a rim protector. Can't be afraid. Jared Allen ends up on probably 4 to 5 posters a year, but he's also playing like an all-star and respected as a rim defender. Only way you're going to get better. And shouts out the 60 people who are watching with us right now. It's been a dominant opening performance for the Raptors. Mike Vick is always defending Pascal Siakam. I said, and then suddenly all the Pascal Siakam haters disappear. You know what? Pascal's not doing anything too crazy this game. I definitely hope no one's like just hating on him as like a guy or wishing him away from the team completely. Clearly, you're okay to have a desire to want him traded. We don't even need to go down this rabbit hole right now, but Mike Vick sticking his neck out for Pascal again. He's been doing this. And Marcel Martin agreeing, Boucher won't be here much longer. And Terry Black, I saw him comment something earlier. I got to answer that. I have not seen the Pascal Siakam interview with JJ Redick. And I think Yuta Watanabe hitting another 3. Either way, big bucket there for the Raptors. Yuta's been doing it all here in the first half. And to answer, I have not actually seen the Pascal Siakam and JJ Redick interview yet. I was going to watch it today, but got caught up. I went to the gym, played pickup hoops. That took way longer than I thought. I mean, you win a couple games in a row. You don't want to just leave. So I milked that out longer than I should have, but that was one of the things I meant to do today. I'll definitely watch that after this. And as I said earlier, oh my God, I'm so happy that this game came on at 6 p.m. because I got to be up so early for work tomorrow. Can't wait until the post-Christmas part of the year where I'm just going to be focusing on the podcast. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if you guys are in here right now, thank you already for your support. And if you can, drop a like spike in the comments section. You guys are the best. Ramaz saying we own Washington. It's early for that. People are mad at me for the jinxes, but right now we certainly do. This is looking great. Scotty Barnes with an offensive rebound. He pulls the ball back out. He's guarded by Bertans. It looks like he's going to go him. Double team was inching over, so he finds Banton, who shoots the 3, cashes it. I know someone in the chat earlier mentioned that at the G League level, they told Delano he's got to learn to shoot threes more. Jacks it up, knocks it down. Huge bucket. The bench points are 19-6 in favor of Toronto right now. And there's Scotty Barnes with a nice little rebound, but I think it gets whistled down. But either way, Scotty Barnes all over the glass at the moment. And hooking up with Banton, the rookies again, except it's Banton this time scoring. And from the three-point range, if he continues to develop that, there we go. Jeff for Sale 1 saying it's a good podcast with Pascal and with JJ Redick. I got to see that because Pascal obviously has been struggling a little bit, and hearing it from the fans, as Mike Vick's very quick to point out. So I'd be curious to just see how he's doing right now. I know he's mentioned before, Banton with a nice three, but misses it. I just love that he's shooting these now. That was pretty far away behind a screen, but if you leave him open, it's good to see him pulling up, just like Scotty Barnes has learned to. That's going to be huge for his game if he's respected from the three-point mark. Scotty picking up a foul. I thought he went straight up there, but it gets called down. KCP is shooting too. Captain Save a Bro saying if Pascal got as many foul calls for him like a Tatum, he would be consistently great. I got to give Tatum some credit though, because he plays in a way that's, you earn the fouls. We've heard that expression before a ton in basketball, and it definitely applies at the NBA level. Even with the new rules, there's a ton of ways to bait people into fouling you. And sometimes Pascal Siakam, I got to say, he doesn't have as polished of an offensive game as Jason Tatum does. And Jason Tatum's also, I got to say, probably a bit more of a physical specimen than Pascal. So he's stronger, right? It makes sense that Tatum gets a bit more calls. The way he plays, his kind of skill and physical presence. Pascal struggled at times, but the whistle has been there to help him out. At least he's not like one of these guys like Trae Young or Dame who kind of depends on those baiting people into the 3 points. Oh, and Pascal right on cue, cuts and scores with the left. That's a nice basket for him. We're up by 22 points right now. And I believe that was Precious who found him there, got the assist. The front court piece is hooking up. Oh, I swear Washington just went out of bounds. Either way, the ball does go out. Fred VanVleet there to pick it up, and we're inbounding it quick. 6:40 left in the second, right before we go to the half. Fred puts up a circus shot, gets swatted out there by Kuzma. Probably would have been better off to just grab that, but Scotty Barnes with the ball, slicing up KCP, gets blocked by Montrez, but it's staying Raptors ball. That was a good defensive play there by Harrell. But I love to see Scotty Barnes being confident, trying to chop up these vets. KCP's a pretty good defender. Nothing special, but definitely a routine NBA guy, a champion with the Lakers, and Scotty Barnes is coming right at him. He's not afraid. Oh, VanVleet just misses the 3 off the inbounds. Harrell in the post. Achiuwa's guarding him. Come on, give him the clamps, Achiuwa. All right, kicks it out. Kuzma gets the floater. That's a nice bucket. I'm happy to see Kuzma out of LA. That was toxic for him. If our fan base is toxic with Pascal Siakam, then the Lakers fan base was criminal with what they did to Kyle Kuzma. Same can be said for Philly and Ben Simmons. I don't think we're quite on that level. But winning a championship helps, right? I guess the Lakers won too, but they still just constantly gave it to Kuzma. Anyhow, it's a competition of who's the worst. Oh, Barnes got up there, but kind of gets dunked on. I'm just happy to see him going up and challenging Harrell there. But Harrell getting the better of that one and dunking it. Ooh, Fred VanVleet just misses the nice crossover to mid-range J. And Svi Mikhailuk goes up strong. Okay, I thought he got fouled there. That was a close call, but happy that Svi Mikhailuk will be going to the line to shoot too. Fred VanVleet, I don't know who he just put on skates there. I think we're getting a replay. That was a nice little move. Oh, Fred VanVleet's setting picks too. Good basketball right now for the Raptors still. Mike Vick saying, I really like our picks this year, man. Scotty Barnes and Banton. I agree. I was very skeptical of all the minutes that Banton got because, Malachi Flynn was having games where he was dropping 26 with 8 assists, 3 of 6 from 3, carrying us through that second half of the season where we were tanking, right? But Malachi was going out there and having good stat lines and playing good. I was like, I want to see Malachi. He's earned it. Like, go play Malachi. He's in his second year. He's fought. But they gave the minutes to Banton. And clearly they saw something right there and then through practices. I know Fred VanVleet really said that he loved Banton, which was one of the reasons that they reveal an open gym as to them drafting him with the 46th overall pick. But Delano's earned it. We gave him the green light, and he's never really looked back. He's had a couple games that were a little bit slow and sluggish, but for the most part, he's only gotten better. And to see him starting to stretch the floor, same with Scotty, we made the right decisions. We took long guys, and we're teaching... Oh! Speaking of long guys, we're teaching how to shoot. Pascal Siakam. Okay. Flames are on, ladies and gentlemen. Big bucket there for Pascal. It's 49-24. The Raptors look just locked right in. We've figured out our offense, and Washington's still struggling as Beal misses a mid-range J that I mean, he was uncontested there. He's normally hitting those. Fred VanVleet turns it over and we foul Kuzma. That'll prevent the fast break going down on our end. Jeff for Sale 1 saying, give the Wizards a map. They look lost. Fred VanVleet, I don't know what defender he had on him, but put him on skates. Just misses the mid-range, Jay. I still never forget that ankle breaker he had on Markelle Fultz against the Magic. I was so close to buying the NFT moment for that on NBA Top Shot. There you go. I'm nerding out about blockchain again. But Fred VanVleet, that's one of my favorite highlights for him. Beal finds KCP, who hits the 3 in the corner. Damn. Fred VanVleet coming back the other way with it. It's 49-27. Now it's in Pascal's hands. He's going to go Kuzma here, and I like it. In the post, mid-range, gets it. Ladies and gentlemen, Spicy P is on tonight. Headband P in the building, 51-27. Jeff for Sale 1 saying long 3 from Pascal. Yeah, it really is. And someone mentioning in the chat too, let me see who this is here. Morris guy saying Bonga getting better too. That's someone I've been a little bit out of touch with in terms of their development. I know he's had his moments this season, especially with us, where he comes in and, you know, he'll get a basket or a block, something like that, which seems promising, but I haven't been following him much of the G League. I'd be curious to check out his numbers, but it's good to hear he's doing well. And Pascal, all right, man, playing physical ball against KCP. KCP's calling for the offensive foul, but no call there. Pascal Siakam bullying him in the paint. I do not see a lot of bully ball from Pascal, but there you go, ladies and gentlemen. He's playing it tonight. Having a huge game. I got to check how many stats he's got right now, or points. He's playing locked in, but Kuzma there getting a bucket for the Wizards. They're going to want to turn this around soon, but I'm hoping the Raptors just go foot to gas the whole time. Fred VanVleet, he's got Kyle on him. Oh, nice little reverse, but it just hangs up there on the rim. Raps missed the shot. And we got 70 live viewers. Appreciate everybody who's coming out. And Kuzma. Ooh. All right. I want to put the ice on right now. That kind of sucks. Kyle Kuzma, he's playing cold at the moment. Some back-to-back scoring possessions there for the Wizards. I'm kind of a Kyle Kuzma fan. He's bringing it to the Raps at the moment, but hey, we're still up 53-34. Quick timeout there from Nick Nurse to get in the ears of the guys. Make sure we stay determined on the task at hand. It's been a great game so far. As you can see, defensively, we're locked in. If we can hold them to less than 40 points going into half, I mean, that's pretty nice. I believe we held, what was it, last game? I think it was 48-40 for the, I can't remember if we were leading at half last game, but either way, we held the Bucks last game to under 50 at halftime and then under 100 for the overall game. So the defense has been clicking. I know Washington's missed some easy looks, but we're doing everything we can. And like I said, I'm not fully in that tank direction, guys. I'm just taking away my expectations and letting our team play. And wins are what any fan is going to want to see. Home court as well. Shouts out to Zach Phillips, who's at the game with media credentials. Oh, wow. Siakam with 18 points at the moment. I didn't realize he had that many. So 18, 4, and 1 is what his stat line's looking like. I know Mike Vick's fired up right now. 6 of 11 on the field goals, so shooting over 50%. He's 5 of 6 from the free throw line and 1 of 1 from 3 with a block. Playing a good game right now. Shouts out Headband P. Precious Achiuwa, 6 and 6 with 2 assists. He's got a steal to go with it. Shooting 50%. I noticed Precious's motor out there throughout the first half. And let me see. Gary Trent, so he's got 6 points. He's got 2 threes. I didn't notice that. I thought he only hit 1, but Gary Trent Jr. only needing 1 more 3-pointer for me to cash that leg of the parlay. Hoping for that. And if you guys don't see the parlays, I put them out on Twitter beforehand every game. My app was being weird, and since we've got a couple of injuries right now, they've been posting Raptors player lines later than they normally do. But still, every game, doesn't matter what's going on, 99% chance that I've posted a bet on the Raptors Digest Twitter, so definitely go check that out every game, even if I don't get a YouTube short uploaded. As I said, post-Christmas, I'll be able to do everything to its fullest capacity, and we got 70 viewers right now, so if you guys are watching this, drop a like, Spike. Appreciate everybody in the chat at the moment, but to continue reading out the box scores, so Scotty Barnes, he's got 2, 5, and 1. Come on, give me some. Okay, he's got 1 block. So 1 more defensive stat for Scotty. That hits that leg of the parlay. Happy that he's got at least 1 stat. He's played good defense so far this game. And overall, I mean, the Raptors, if you look at the stat sheet, we're suffocating the Wizards right now. I want this to keep up for sure. All right, let's close out this half strong. Shouts out everybody in the chat again. This Captain Saver Bro saying this defense is beautiful to see. Are the boys finally buying in and finding chemistry? Naturally, I think we are. Oh, what just happened? Was it Precious Achiuwa who just hit a 3? I was reading the chat, but Raptors get a bucket, 55-34 with 2 minutes left to go. I think we're definitely finding some chemistry right now, just to answer Captain Save It Bro. We definitely are. I mean, you play with each other. Naturally, that's what's going to happen. This team's kind of a new group. Oh, Gary Trent Jr. just missing the steal on Neto. Bradley Beal there to get a layup. That's tough, but a little bit of a defensive gamble for Gary. I don't mind him taking those, especially with this kind of lead. But yeah, I mean, this group's young. They're going to need to figure out who's that guy, who wants to be him. And even though that's going to be Pascal Siakam. I was going to say, even though it's going to be Scotty Barnes, right now it's looking like Pascal Siakam. 20 points already in the first half. Pretty balanced stat line too. I don't think he has many assists, but he's rebounding the ball. He's efficient. He's been going to the free throw line, knocking down the gimmies. I think he is silencing some haters at the moment. A great game for him. And he's playing bully ball. This isn't something we always see from him. Uncontested shots, we know he's decent. He's got good mechanics. He's developed himself into that guy. But right now, contested, backing players down in the post and getting his. And you just love to see it. Neto, oh no, that's Kuzma. Kuzma misses the shot. Precious is there to rebound it. I think he's already got 7 boards. Good game for him thus far. I believe it's Giants of Africa night, or at least they have the print out there on the floor. So love to see him balling out on this occasion. Pascal in the mid-range. Oh my God. All right. I got no option here. The Flames are coming on, and they might be staying on. 22 points for Pascal, who's red hot. Spicy P back in the building. And Marcel Martin saying, I need to apologize for my Pascal slander. You know what? A lot of the things that were said still have long-term merit here. I mean, we knew Pascal wasn't going to struggle forever, but right now, I mean, we've got to put some respect on his name, myself included. Pascal with 22 first half points and just hooping. Kenya Hall saying he's too hot. Siakam can't miss right now. He's locked in. Neto's shooting free throws. The score right now is 59-36. Make that. Oh, there you go. Neto misses the first free throw. Love to see the offensive frustration for the Wizards. It's been ugly on their end. Chance we might hold them to under 40 points here in the first half. Tom Moreau saying spacing has been better, which is really helping Siakam. Yeah, Captain Saverbro pointing out that the chemistry is looking like it's kind of settling in. I agree. And Tom Moreau pointing out another reason why the spacing has been better tonight and Pascal's been eating. Kind of a quiet night for Scotty, but hey, as much as I always want to see the rookie balling out, Pascal's taking his spotlight back tonight and doesn't look like he wants to give it up. I heard him say something interesting. It might have been a snippet actually from the JJ Redick podcast where they asked, do you get mad at yourself when you're struggling like this? I can't remember exactly what question was posed, but he said, I try to be nice to myself because it does sound like he's been on that other side of it before. Clearly an underdog, workhorse type guy. And a lot of just self-love and manifestations of better things. Good to hear Pascal Siakam just with good mental traits, staying in the right space, even during, a spotty period. And tonight, he is fully in the zone. He's at the free throw line, just hits his first. He's going to be shooting another, but 24 points in the first half, guys. If this stays on pace, we're looking at a 50 piece, I guess. Pascal's hooping, and so are the Raptors. Hits his second. There we go, man. Sava in the chat saying, is Van Vliet playing? Yes, he is. He is in the game. Wow, he is hooping. Neto shoots the 3. Damn, he hits it. I was really hoping the Raptors could have kept the Wizards under 40 points there in the first half. But Neto there to get them across the line to 40. We're still up by 21. Scotty Barnes in the paint. Wow. Takes one dribble, big man move, collects the ball, finishes with a little hook in the paint. Man, I like it. Pascal's talking to guys out there. He's directing traffic. This is good. And you're going to get the ball back for the last shot of the half. Neto's got it right now, guarded by Van Vliet. Shouts out the 72 people who are in here watching. Did he step out there? Okay, I think they're calling a foul on Pascal, but good job guarding the baseline. Thought he could have stepped out of bounds there, but KCP looks like he could be shooting too. Both teams are in the bonus. Jeff Green saying, don't think the Raptors will break the Grizzlies' 73-point margin of victory, but I do think it will be a blowout. I forgot about that. That was insane. I mean, I think now that OKC lost that game, they own the record for both the home and away largest deficits of a defeat. Not really things you want to your name, but Sam Presti, I say it as a literal madman, like a lunatic. I've never seen anyone operate like Sam Presti, where he's just down to constantly trade away guys that are still young and good just to get picks. I know it's become a meme, but this man is literally building for like 2030. It's insane. Neto with a big steal there on Van Vliet. That'll do it for the first half. Neto's a rat, but got to respect this game. He's hustling. And I got to respect this lead right now. Raps are up by over 20 points. Pascal Siakam with 24, I believe. En route to a 50-piece statistically. Is that what's going on? I'd love to see it. Definitely a ton of people in Raptors Nation doubling back on some opinions. And as I said, guys, like, never too high, never too low, right? You can have realistic things. Maybe you still feel like Pascal, you could go a separate way from him as a player. But nights like this remind you that no matter if you want to keep him or move him, he's still a great two-way player. And he's been efficient tonight, playing bully ball, which is something that I've been begging to see from him. He's using his size and dominating the Wizards. Let me quickly go check out the stat lines for this team. My bets are pretty close. I need one more three-pointer for Gary Trent Jr. Shouts out Marcel. We're riding this bet together, I know. But if anyone else is gambling on the game, put it in the chat. I'm curious to hear. We got 85 of you in here. Definitely know someone out there else has some bets. But yeah, so Gary Trent Jr., three-pointers, and then I need the rookie, Scotty Barnes, to go out there and get some defensive stats. He's already got a block, and one more block or a steal will hit that part of the bet. So in terms of statistically, we are on pace to hit the bets, but I'll knock on wood quick. I'm a little superstitious, and I know a bunch of people are in here, and I found that out the hard way when I said it was in the bag last night versus the Bucks, and it ended up being like a 1-point game with however many minutes left. Just a hectic end to that one. And I am betting on a Gary comeback game because last game I think he was maybe 2 of 10 from 3. Maybe it wasn't that bad, but he didn't shoot great. He had like 8, 8, and 1 as his stat line. Gary's been a lot better than that this season, and I always find that he punishes the Wizards. You guys remember that game winner he had from last season? Putting my money where my mouth is. Did Scotty Barnes win the Scotty Barnes Award? Showing up in the chat saying Pascal is stealing my trophy. Right now, he definitely is, and he's deserving to steal it. I mean, this is just music to my ears. And I'm someone, I get it. People like sometimes comment, this guy's the Pascal hater, yada, yada, yada. I'm not a hater. I have realistic desires for my team. But if he's hooping like this, of course I'm not going to feel that way. I'm happy to see it. I love the Raptors, and no matter who's getting it done, I'm just going to cheer on the team that's getting winning efforts. And right now it's Toronto. I sounded like a bandwagoner when I said it. I am a Raptors diehard, and I'm just happy to see the team having some success because it was a great start to the season. You get to a 6-3 record, and then all of a sudden, whoa, what's going on? Pascal trying to reintegrate. OG Anunoby going down with an injury. Khem Birch is still out as well. Yuta Watanabe hadn't come back for a while. I was questioning Nick Nurse and his rotations, but everything is starting to even out, and we're getting some quality basketball. And I hope that this is just kind of a trend to come. I'm not saying we need to win all games, but let's be respected as a team that'll play you hard, lock in on defense, which is supposed to be the identity of our team. It is tonight, and then get the character wins that'll help us grow into a contender once again. And shout out to the 90 people who are watching. You guys are the best. Sav is saying, I have a bet on Van Vliet, 20 plus points. I saw I got a couple buckets there, but what's he at right now? So for Sava, needs 20 plus, and then Van Vliet right now has 2 points. Hasn't really shot the ball much, I don't think. Oh, never mind, he has. I was looking at a different one. So 2 points, he's 1 of 8, 0 of 3 from 3-point. Yeah, that's not looking great. He had a great game versus the Bucks. I think he dropped 33, was it? It was either 33 or 29, but he's been on a nice streak recently. As I said, making an all-star case. Sava, I don't blame you for betting on him. I even thought about it tonight, but not looking great. Fred VanVleet's still, all-star caliber guy. He could go get 18 and a half. I'm definitely rooting for it, but Pascal's stolen the show completely. Ivan saying Banton for second team all rookie. That's something I haven't really thought about, but I definitely think that's possible. Let's think. I think Bones Highland will be up there. I'm a big Bones fan. Anyone who's been watching this knows that I like Bones, and if he wasn't on Denver, which is such a deep roster, I think he would be probably in the top 5 for rookie voting. In terms of other rookies, that might be, Cade Cunningham's legit. He's turned it on. Jalen Green continues to be, good, but not really what everyone thought he would be. He was drawing like Kobe comparisons, and I won't lie, I was kind of sipping the Kool-Aid as well, thinking that he might be the next new explosive scorer. Gets a bunch of Zach LaVine comparisons, and he still could be, but this is a reminder of how deep the rookie class is, because guys like Josh Giddey as well, I guess he's a point guard that Banton is going to need to fight for some selections at the end of the season. I'll start making that case with you there. Second team all rookie, but that might be a long shot, Ivan. I hope we hit that, though. Banton to get on that kind of recognition as a 46th overall pick sounds pretty Raptor-esque to me. The future Sean Livingston of this team. Graham noticing he's Spicy P tonight. And Fanfiction Pop-Tart saying, hey, Josh, I'm standing in front of a giant box of black coffee. Want some? No, I don't, and it's just... I know Fanfiction always comes in here and immediately asks if I'm drinking coffee. I can't be right now because I was so happy that this game started at 6 p.m. because I'm up and I got to be at my coworker's house for 6 a.m. tomorrow, and he lives about half an hour away. You guys can imagine. It is not going to be a fun morning. Got a lot of driving to do, but I'll say it again for everybody who's been a loyal follower here. Just wait until it's after Christmas. That's the period when I will be just completely putting everything into the podcast. I won't have another job on the side. And that's really going to be digest to the moon. So hang around for that. And I appreciate everybody who's already shown love. If you guys are in here, drop a like, Spike. I got the Skyrim arrow on the screen. You guys are the GOATs. 91 of you right now. Okay, and then someone in the chat correcting me that it was Savas saying 29, I think, last game. But yeah, really great game for the Raptors and Fred VanVleet taking care of stuff on home court versus the Bucks, who I get it, didn't have Giannis. But as the old saying goes, you can only play who's in front of you. And we got the job done against the defending champs. I'll take it. I think we're still at like a 3-8 home record, but hey, you got a stretch right now. You can turn that around. Knicks and Kings coming to town. This could literally get you back to 500 overall on the season, and just start improving that home record slowly and surely. We were begging for home court down in Tampa. Well, we're home, so let's use it. Mike Vick saying, people need to realize you're not the one playing basketball. Stop judging and pointing fingers and let people grow and learn instead of hating and blaming. Try positive encouragement. Mike Vick is in the right spot here. I don't expect everybody to be as enlightened as Mike Vick, myself included. I'm proudly a passionate sports fan, and I know Pascal's capable of better. I see games like tonight, and this is what makes me feel like, there is a right to criticize him, because it's like, Pascal, you have a lot to offer. We just want to see it more routinely. I don't agree with like bullying athletes and putting them down as people. I think that's terrible. But, for the most part, we got fans here in Toronto and around Canada, around the world for that matter, who really care about this team. And it makes sense that there will be complaints, but you gotta admire Mike Vick here, just trying to defend every player on that roster, especially Pascal. And Bueno Kitty here to echo it. He's dropping a super chat saying Pascal only 24 points at half. Wow, trade him, LOL. Yeah, how about that, eh? How come he doesn't already have a 30-piece? Pascal is playing great, guys. I'm so happy to see it. I know I've been branded as the Pascal hater at the channel, so here I am. I'll eat my words in front of everybody. He's playing great. Dominic saying Pascal needs to keep this up in the second half till our team gets going, because the rest of the starters are cold. You're right, but I've been very happy with what Chris and Banton did off of the bench tonight, or not Chris and Banton. Chris and Svi Mikhailuk. Banton's played nice too, but those were the two dudes where I was watching and thinking, okay, they need to get it going because they have so much to offer as bench pieces, and they've just been in a dry spell. Svi Mikhailuk especially, he's just a hired marksman. And I get it. When you're that kind of player, your value will be gauged in shots made and shots missed. You're not necessarily an elite level defender, even though I do think he's solid. And he was missing a lot of threes. So to see him hit at least one, I think he had a couple, maybe another basket in there too. But he's been good energy. Same with Chris Boucher. He had a nice little first half. And then also shouts out to Yuta Watanabe. He's been growing and growing on me ever since he became a Raptor. And we got 93 live viewers, so I appreciate everybody tuning in. The second half will be here in a moment. I'm just seeing Sportsnet return onto the screen, so hang tight. And someone that I would love to see have a nice second half is Gary Trent Jr. A mini slump, I guess like a 2-game slump, sort of. For him, nothing too serious. I mean, I'm not worried at all. But I do have money on him tonight, so I would like to see him hit one more three-pointer at least. And he's been looking, I think pretty efficient, right? He's 2 of 3 from 3. I'm going to double check this right now. Yes, so he's 2 of 3 from 3-point range. Hoping he can go out there and hit at least one more, cash this for us. But then obviously I need Scotty Barnes to get one more defensive stat. I've liked what he's been doing on the defensive end. Figured it out more. He's getting more stats, fouling less. He's eased in. So I think his whole game's balancing out. I've been saying it over and over. It seems as though Scotty Barnes will find one thing he wants to work on, and you can visibly see him grinding on that throughout the game. He started off hot scoring, and then he's like, okay, I need to get these assist numbers up. The assist numbers kept going up. He's been pretty consistent rebounding, but for the most part, I mean, the defense was fouling early. And when I say the defense, his defense specifically, Scotty Barnes, and now he's picking up less personal fouls, more defensive stats. He's just checking off the checklist of developments early in his rookie campaign. I really, really want this kid to win Rookie of the Year. Only other Raptors to do it, I believe, are Vince Carter and Damian Stoudemire. Or Damon, not Damian. But Stoudemire, Mighty Mouse, you guys remember him. He was wicked and a Rookie of the Year for Toronto. Hoping that Scotty Barnes, future go to the Raptors, can join that elite company. Teflon saying Yuta ball IQ is phenomenal. I've been noticing that as well. Like I said, I'm never one of those guys. I know Raptors Nation has a lot of people who just are obsessed with Yuta Watanabe. I've never been one of those people. I've kind of just seen him as, a decent bench piece, decent rotation guy. I do like his energy, but he has looked really, really useful since coming back. You can tell he's been working on that 3-point shot. If you leave him open, if you leave him open, you've made a mistake because he can bury you. And then on defense, he's continued to be a hustle player. And even though he got put on the world's worst poster by the rookie Anthony Edwards last year, he's got a short memory. We're talking about rim protectors. They need to forget it and live for the next opportunity. And he did not let Dylan Brooks jam it on him the other night against Memphis. And I was really grateful for that because that would have been another highlight. And even though I love D Brooks, I'll even take a second here to just say that I think he's like a young LeBron, out of pocket comparison, but he can do everything on the court. I'm so happy he's a Canadian because we'll get to see him play for the national team. But Yuta Watanabe winning that meeting they had at the rim, and I was happy to see it. Tom Rose saying Yuta does everything, including bringing us a whole other fan base. That is true. That's definitely true. He's of Japanese descent, he's actually a Japanese citizen, so he's over here playing basketball, but his whole life, family, I'm sure everything about Yuta Watanabe is in Japan right now. So, we get a ton of viewership from there. There's even people coming into the chat sometimes putting in Japanese writing, which, obviously, I don't understand, but it's great to have viewers from all over checking into here and watching Raptors games. You're definitely right. And you see a similar thing on the Blue Jays with Hyunjin Ryu, who's from Korea. So you get a ton of Korean viewership. If you look in a Blue Jays comment section, especially on a post of Ryu, you just get a ton of different foreign languages in there. I guess mainly Korean, but yeah, you love to see it. Toronto's a diverse city, so it's good to have a roster which reflects that diversity, and we do it in a winning way, right? We don't just pick up people for the sake of picking them up, but we've found so many different places in this world to grab players from. You got to respect it. And the theme of tonight has been talking about Precious Achiuwa, the Giants of Africa alumni, who Masai Ujiri is the head of. This means a lot to both of them. I'm happy he's a Raptor. Had a nice little first half there. I got to check, actually. He had a lot of rebounds. So Precious Achiuwa, He's 6 and 7. I thought he already had 8 rebounds, but still 7 in your first half with a steal to go with it. 6 points, 2 assists, 3 of 5. Good job. Happy to see that for Precious. And we already know he will be the bench center of the future once we get our 7-footer and, figure out everything. But we're still in that process. And shout out to the 90 people who are watching right now. Bueno Kitty saying bench with over 20 points right now. Finally, yes, our bench was ranked like 29th in terms of productivity. I want to say before last game, I don't know if much changed, but clearly there's an overall consensus that group needs to improve. We got a lot of young players coming off the bench. I mean, on our whole team realistically, but especially the bench. And we're starting to see a bit of chemistry for them. Shouts out Yuta Watanabe. I know Tom Moreau's hyping him up. And then Marcel asking, Josh, did you hear about FVV cursing out Yuta? I actually didn't. I did not hear about that. Fred VanVleet strikes me as the kind of guy that's not afraid to keep others accountable, especially given his history with the team, right? He's a champion, been here for a while, playing like an all-star. He's someone that I think you can criticize your teammates in a polite, constructive way. But I did not hear about that. What did Fred say to Yuta? Curious. Jose Calderon saying Scotty takes too little shots. In a general sense, I do agree with you. But right now, Pascal Siakam, just keep putting the ball back in his hands. And Scotty's a playmaker too. So if they can get that continuing to click, then I'm fine with it. But generally, I agree. I would like to see Scotty, not looking to defer, just being a score first guy. But he's a rookie. They're going to build him up the right way. All right, Yuta. Siakam passes it over to Achiuwa, second half underway. And the cut pass was to nobody there as Fred VanVleet was not in position. We turn over the ball, but we're up by 21 right now, guys. This is wild. I'm not going to say anything jinx-worthy here, but you've built yourself a really good lead here. Let's see what we can do with it. Raptors playing really great defense. And I won't lie, though. The Wizards have kind of just been blowing some open looks, too. But hey, you'll take it, and we'll chalk that up to not giving anything easy. Kuzma to Beal to Gafford. I got to say, Gafford is an impressive physical specimen. This guy is big and plays physical. Gets the putback dunk right there against the Raps. VanVleet with the ball. Yeah, so the announcer's clarifying that Gafford was in foul trouble in the first half, but back in right now, Siakam from Gary. That was a nice play. They shoot the ball low to the post. Gary makes a quick decision to find Pascal Siakam. Love to see Trent Jr. being a bit of a playmaker out there. That's one part of his game that's not superb's quite the word, but he's developing that part of his game too. Great play there, and another point for Pascal. Great defense by Scotty Barnes. Went up straight, forced a miss there from Washington. That was great D. Won't get credited with the defensive assist, but nice possession there on defense for Scotty. And then Achiuwa there with the offensive rebound off the Siakam miss. That was tapped out by Washington. You'll only have 7 seconds left, but that was definitely off of Dinwiddie there. All right, so Marcel Martin talking about what he was just referencing with Yuta Watanabe and Fred VanVleet, saying, so Yuta said the Fred VanVleet will curse him out for bad plays, but Yuta said he takes it all as constructive criticism and that he trusts FVV to be a good leader for him. There you go. So, kind of exactly what I thought was going on here. Fred VanVleet, before the season, we all knew that no matter who was on this roster and who was scoring the most, the vocal heartbeat of this team was going to be Fred. It was Kyle Lowry for a very long time, and I've always viewed Fred VanVleet sort of as Lowry's protege. And he's lived up to it already in many senses, playing like an all-star at the moment. Not the exact same player that Kyle Lowry is, but, nice cut. Great read there to find the hole in the defense. And Scotty Barnes flying to the rim, throwing down a nice little yam for the Raptors. I'm going to turn my flames on. Our power forwards are balling out right now. We're looking rich at the 4 spot. But yeah, it makes sense to me that Fred VanVleet will be that dude to keep others accountable. I mean, he's got the respect. He's got the resume. I'm happy someone speaks up. We're young. And it's good on Yuta for having the mindset to hear that and just want to be better versus want to be mad. Gary Trent Jr. misses the 3. That would have hit that part of the bet for us. Coming back the other way with it right now is Dinwiddie. T-Bird Brad saying, go get it, stay engaged. 21 is not enough of a cushion. You're right. We got to stay on our game here. Jose Calderon, I'm pulling this out of an earlier chat that was sent in saying Mobley has an award on lock. I assume you're talking about Rookie of the Year. I don't think he has it on lock. Jose, I know you don't believe he has it on lock. He definitely could win it. I'm not going to disrespect the game at Evan Mobley. Dinwiddie there with a nice bucket. But hey, Scotty Barnes, I'm pretty sure is still the betting favorite to do it. So far from out of it, and his whole complete game continues to elevate. But Evan Mobley deserves respect, man. He is a baller too. It's going to be a tight race. In the paint, Precious misses the floater. Nice little cut by him, but does not get the shot to go down. Kenya Hall saying these refs are super soft. That's the NBA, right? You can sell things. You can, it's not all refereeing's. It's a human profession. There will be mistakes, but I haven't noticed it being too bad this game. Maybe that's because, winning makes all right. We're up so big right now that I've just been happy throughout this game and haven't noticed the officiating, but I think it's been decent. Scotty Barnes had a pretty good defensive possession where he didn't get called for any fouls where I think he could have. Oh, Fred VanVleet. Sava, if you're watching this, I know you need 20 points out of him. That's a big bucket there. Step back J for Fred. Hits it from 3. It's 70-49 for the Raptors at the moment. Back to a 21 deficit. And T-Bear Brad flying in saying Barnes is the Rookie of the Year. Mobley I love, but just know. You're right. I love him, but just know I'm not accepting Mobley as Rookie of the Year. It's got to be our boy Scotty. But Mobley has a tempting case of his own. But Scotty Barnes propaganda is all I want to hear. Susie in the chat saying, how are Wizards 4th in the East? What would this mean for the Raps? I think it would mean more in terms of, obviously for the Raptors, it'd be very big. You're getting a W against a solid team. But I was waiting for the Wizards to come back down to earth a little bit. KCP with a nice mid-range there. They're 4-6 in their last 10 games. I still think they'll be flirting with being 500 throughout the year. Probably a pretty safe bet that they will be. But they had a great start where they exceeded expectations. Currently, they're 14-9. I expect them to come a little bit closer in the losses column than they are at the moment. They got hot to begin with, but I just don't see their roster being that loaded to compete. They won't be like a 55-60 win team. They definitely won't. I think they'll flirt with, like I said, 41-41 for a record. But I've been waiting for them to be coming back down to earth, and it looks like they might be. Pascal in the paint. Oh, wow. Gafford with some good defense there. Pascal kind of airballing a floater. Up by 19. KCP with the ball. He's guarded by Precious. Pulls up in the mid-range. Does a long 2 and gets it. Yeah, KCP does have it going at the moment. Playing pretty well. 75 live viewers in here as well. I appreciate everybody who's tuning in. And we got a stoppage of play. So Fred VanVleet cut. I don't know what happened there. Maybe a timeout. Let's see. Was that a block by Gafford? Yeah, it might have been a block. But either way, Gafford having some good interior presence there. Got into foul trouble early. I actually got to check exactly how many fouls he has because you don't want to deal with Gafford on the other end there, especially if you're a bit undersized at the 5, which the Raptors are. I got to give Gafford his credit. He's a beast in the paint. So Gafford right now, how many personal fouls does he have? He's got 3 personal fouls. So let's continue to go at him. He's a good defender, but if we can get him out of this game, I definitely like that. And Caldwell Pope with 18. He's 6 of 7, 2 of 2 from 3, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He's looked good. And he's got a steal as well. 2 turnovers. But yeah, KCP having a good game. I got to say, when that Russ trade happened, I did feel like, why if you're Washington, maybe you want to rebuild and get picks. And I don't know, you got back a bunch of good players. To me, it didn't stand out a crazy ton. But it kind of reminded me of that Rudy Gay trade we made. Obviously on a much lesser scale. But we got rid of an all-star. Well, not an all-star, but a guy who plays at that caliber for a bunch of solid pieces. Like I said, we got John Solomons, Gravis Vasquez, Chuck Hayes, all from coming back from the Kings, Patrick Patterson. And I get that Rudy Gay was the better player, and even now you see him be pretty good on Utah. But at that moment, we knew how much that trade impacted our team. That's when we really turned around ship, got a good supporting cast in, DeRozan and Lowry were playing great, and we started making the playoffs and going on playoff runs. And then obviously flip Gravis Vasquez into a draft pick from the Bucks, which ended up being Norman Powell. I mean, the Masai trade trees have been insane, but it reminded me of that when Russell Westbrook got dealt to the Lakers from the Wizards. They just got back a bunch of people to complement Bradley Beal, who I think deserves it. He's been loyal to their team. In hindsight, it does make sense. At the time, I was like, why didn't you get more picks or a really good young player? Like THT, I would have had to be a part of that deal, who wasn't. He's still on the Lakers, but it looks like it's been a W for the Wiz. And the Lakers have just been an absolute circus. It's sad. I'm a LeBron fan. I know there's so much controversy out there, but to finally be at the point where it's like, okay, I don't know if it's fair to say it's like an obvious decline, but he can't anymore put a team on his back. Some of those Cleveland teams he had, they were not good. I'll firmly stand by it. There was some that were talented, but especially when Kyrie wasn't there, I mean, it was LeBron James versus the Warriors. And LeBron James, in 2016, he got his laugh. He's a 2020 champion. But we're at the point where if the roster isn't perfect, and they lost Caruso, and Caruso offered to sign with them for less than the Bulls got him. They've had some mismanagement there. But it's sad because I'm a LeBron fan. And I always like to see him do well. And Fred VanVleet hitting a three-pointer, man. He is hot right now. Up by 20. Right out of the timeout. Great play by Nick Nurse. Fred gets open, makes the Wizards pay. Dinwiddie now with the ball. Kenya Hall saying Siakam shouldn't have spinned, but he's still doing great. Yeah, the spins can hurt him sometimes, but they're kind of his bread and butter when it comes to getting looks. He's having a great game. I'm not going to question it too much, but Kuzma does a back cut, gets the ball. Easy bucket there for the Wizards. 5:55 left here in the third quarter. And like I said, Toronto up by now 18. Fred VanVleet's kind of been turning it on. I know Sava has a bet on Fred to get 20 points. Maybe not quite likely, but possible. Scotty Barnes from three just misses it, but there's Precious Achiuwa to get the board over Gafford, and then the putback. Let's go, Precious. All right, man. I wish I had the animation for Precious propaganda right now because I'd be spreading the propaganda left, right, and center. Over Gafford, that's a big play. Dared him to go up with him and maybe foul. He didn't. Gets the bucket for the Raptors. Love what I'm seeing from Precious. Quietly having a really good game. You can notice the effort big time. Beal from three. Hits the top of the rim, but Gary Trent Jr. called for a foul there. So I believe that Beal will be shooting 3 free throws. That sucks. That was a bit of a late whistle. He missed it bad, and I think the ref noticed that there could have been a foul. Let's see. Replay on. Oh, no. No. That is not a foul. That was a great contest, and Beal ended up hitting the side of the backboard. Like that. They had me fooled for a second, too. Bad call by the refs. I know Kenya in the chat was saying refs have been soft. That was soft. First time I'm noticing it tonight. Beal hits his first two. That sucks. Yeah, Tom Moreau saying, what a horrible call. It was a perfect closeout. And yeah, Kenya saying, how is that a foul? That shouldn't have been called. Jeff for Sale 1 saying Bruno Caboclo pick was ahead of its time. I've seen that he's had some okay moments in the NBA since. But, like Bruno Caboclo is probably one of the only like sort of smudges on Masai Ujiri's draft record. And even then, he did end up becoming a serviceable NBA player. But I remember hearing about him at first as supposedly the Brazilian Kevin Durant. Gary Trent Jr. misses in the mid-range. He's had a bit of a weird night. Hasn't shot the ball a ton. Hopefully he can get that next three for me. But Masai Ujiri, just an absolute genius in the front office in Washington. KCP hitting that three. I think that's his 21st point of the night. Wow. All right, Fred VanVleet back with the ball here. Cannot let up off the gas. 14-point deficit now for Washington. Keep building this lead. And then, there you go. KCP fouls, Siakam. That's good stuff. If we can get some fouls going right now on KCP, that'd be great. Again, I've never been a big KCP guy, but he's playing awesome this game. And obviously a big part of that Lakers team that won in 2020. I still find it so cool that they won in the year that Kobe passed. Obviously devastating, so unfortunate, but to see the Lakers win was pretty, I'll use the word divine. I'm not a Lakers guy, but I was happy for their franchise and Kobe's family. Everyone misses Kobe Bean Bryant. That's for sure. But yeah, KCP having a great game tonight. The former Laker. Banton, nice pass to Boucher. And one. All right. Flames are on, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why the button's not working. Here we go. Wow. Great vision by Delano Banton. That was kind of a no look there. But great job by Chris. Okay, I say this sometimes about Chris Boucher. He can get lazy off ball. That was not lazy. Makes the cut. Banton makes the read. And a dunk and one. The bench needed a spark, and I'm happy it's been guys like Banton, Chris Boucher, and also Svi Mikhailuk having some moments right now to make this as big of a deficit as it is. So I think it was, 33 points off the bench for Toronto, opposed to the 13 for Washington. I might have read that graphic wrong, but either way, you're outscoring them big time in that category, and it's a needed trend right now for these Raptors, who have had great success with their starters scoring, but need more out of the bench. Delano Banton and Boucher there hooking up the Canadian connection. And shouts out the 82 live viewers we got in here right now. If you're watching, drop a like spike. It's always appreciated. Fred VanVleet with the ball. 78-63. Fred from three, it gets called off. Just misses the three, so I don't feel as bad about it. But an offensive foul. I think Raptors called for a moving pick. Probably Achiuwa who picked it up. That sucks. It is what it is. Jeff for Sale 1 saying the slim duck with the and one. Yeah, that was, love to see that from Chris Boucher. A little bonjour. Getting the big bucket for the Raptors. Neto shoots a three and hits it. Neto's having a nice game too. Him and KCP, I've really noticed. Other players like Beal and Kuzma. Kuzma's been okay too, but Beal, Harrell, haven't really done a whole lot. Denny Ogdevia has been like invisible. But this is great news for the Raptors. We're forcing the role players to score. They're doing a bit of that, but you're still up big. Another offensive. What is that? A double dribble or a travel? No, it looks like Fred VanVleet's upset. So VanVleet likely being called for an offensive foul there. Raptors don't get a shot, and we're going back the other way. That's unfortunate. You're only up by 12 points right now. This is no longer a crazy 21-point deficit where they can't score. I knew this would happen. You know, they're only going to miss so many open looks. They're starting to hit those, as you see with KCP and Neto. Raptors got to get on their horse. Neto in the corner again with an open look. We're fortunate he missed that. Right as I mentioned that he's been open and hitting those open looks, he gets another. But Raptors fortunate that he misses. We're going the other way. Oh, great baseline cut again by Boucher and a reverse. I have not seen finesse like that from Chris Boucher in a hot minute. And speaking of hot, we got the Flames on, ladies and gentlemen. Nice needed bucket there for the Raptors. Alley-oop is good. Montrezl Harrell flushes the pass from Kuzma. We got to tighten up on defense right now. Charlie Dan in the chat saying, choking the lead. At the moment, yes, sir, we are, but we're still playing hard. Washington's finally started to hit open looks when they're getting them. But the Raptors are playing a great game. Siakam with the ball. He's been the story of at least the first half. Gets fouled there again. Nice. And that's Ogdevia who's picking up the foul. It's kind of awkward saying his name. It looks like it should be pronounced Avgia. I think I'm kind of saying it correct, but if I had the Charles Barkley animation, I'd be playing that right now. There's a chance I butchered the pronunciation of Denny's name. Logan saying choke incoming. I don't know. We've still played decent. I think the difference here is that Washington started to hit their open shots. We got a stoppage right now, so I hope Nick Nurse can kind of get this team collected again, get them playing some good defense, but at least it's been the role players who's been burning us. This reminds me of old-style Raptors basketball where if we lost, you could bet a role player on the other team snapped because we've just given the Stars such great defensive treatment. I don't think Beal's done really a whole lot tonight. Let me see. So Bradley Beal currently has... Let me pull this up. Beal only has 13 points. He's 4 of 9, 1 of 2. So he's still kind of efficient, but he's under 50% overall. And the fact that he hasn't shot the ball a lot for a guy who is paid tons of millions of dollars to do so. The fact he's deferring right now means that we're guarding him well. I've personally noticed it, so good stuff. We're choking a little bit, but I'm not worried about it taking over the game yet. I'll knock on wood as I say it for all the superstitious folks out there. Jeff for Sale 1, speaking the truth, saying, this is a game of runs. Unknown Anonymous. I know why his name is Unknown Anonymous. He's given takes like saying, I said earlier the Wizards are winning, with a laughing emoji. Well, saying stuff like that, I would be saying anonymous too, because, down 21 points, that's just crazy. You should have bet that, because you would have got a crazy payout or potential payout if that happened. But for the record, I do think the Raptors are holding on here. We're still up by double digits, and I don't think that we've really slagged off. I think that the Wizards are just elevating their game. We'll need to match it. I'm sure Nick Nurse is making the right according adjustments. And T-Bird Brad saying anonymous, 100% not happening. Then Anonymous saying, just wait, LOL. All right, Unknown Anonymous. He's coming out with some bold takes here. We'll see about this. I can't quite believe that, but T-Bird Brad's, Captain Save It Bro saying, we were up by 24 at one point, ? Come on, boys. We need to keep that defense going. You're right. I've been saying it all game. The Wizards were kind of just beating themselves for a little bit, even though we were outplaying them. They're answering right now. As Jet for Sale 1 said, this is a game of runs. We got to respond with a run of our own right now. Only up by 12. We're at home. Let's get this going. Pascal's been the story of the first half. Scotty Barnes, I'll take that. Great little decision to shoot the mid-range J there. It hangs out. Oh my gosh. It hangs out on the rim for a moment, but ends up going down. That's a great way to come out of the stoppage. Denny with the ball. He's guarded by Boucher, who kicks it over to Beal. Let's keep up this good defensive treatment. Beal misses an open shot there. Love to see that. Feels like it's early in the first half again. Siakam's covered by Denny. Wow, that was a completely open shot for Beal, who just misses. Siakam out to Banton, who just misses the mid-range J. That's tough, but credit to him for pulling up there. I love to see him diversifying his game. Neto at the other end kicks it out to Beal. To Bertans, he's a paid three-point shooter. Misses that one, though. We're getting a little bit lucky. The defense has been, energetic, but Wizards are still getting their shots and missing. You love to see that. Pascal on the baseline kicks it over to Yuta, who finds Scotty Barnes. Hope the rookie makes something happen here. Drives in the mid-range. Nice bucket over Beal. Beal's not an elite defender, but a top player in this league, taking him to the paint, pulling up, and hitting a great shot there. And here Barnes is guarding him at the other end, contests it, and Beal misses that. I'm chalking that up as 1-0 for Scotty Barnes against the All-Star. Love to see that. Speaking of things you love to see, 100 people right now watching in the live chat. Appreciate everybody who's out here at the moment. Siakam with the ball. He's on Denny. In the mid-range, just misses that off the front of the rim. He's still playing good, taking the right shots, but been a little bit dry in the past few minutes here in the third quarter. Oh, love to see this. Scotty Barnes is meeting Beal right up at half. He is on him. Beal shakes him, switches it off. Watanabe's guarding Beal now. Neto drives. Scotty's there guarding him. That was good defense, and he misses. Scotty there with the rebound, too. Doing a little bit of everything for the Raps. Assist. Siakam keeps it in. Yuta from 3. Misses that, and Bertans gets the rebound. Time expires as Bertans throws it the length of the floor. It's a game of runs, and the Raptors had a little response there for the Wizards. Wizards started missing open looks again. Oh, man, Scotty Barnes having a pretty nice end of the quarter. Putting the clamps down on Beal, and then getting a little bit of his own on the other end offensively. Let me see what his stat line is at the moment. Did we? Okay. Oh, wait, no. I thought Scotty Barnes just had 2 blocks. I was reading Gafford's line. I'm way off here. So Scotty Barnes, at this time, he's got 10 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. He's 5 of 9, 0 of 2 from 3, which now we know he can do. He's a able 3-point shooter. You give him an open look or even a little bit of a contested one. He's no longer thinking twice about it. He'll stretch you out if you give him the chance. But Barnes still only has 1 block. I'd like to see him get another defensive stat, of course, because I've bet on him to do so. Gary Trent Jr. still needs another 3. He's been quiet tonight. I was expecting a comeback dub. He always plays good against the Wizards, but not really thus far in the game. I'll be real about that. Fourth quarter's coming up, though. 1 more 3 at least. Hoping the Raptors can win. Scotty Barnes, 1 more defensive stat. I mean, this would just be the cherry on top. And I know Marcel Martin's riding that bet with me, so shouts out to Marcel. Shouts out to the 100 people we got watching right now. I'll drop another like spike at the moment if you're in here. Yeah, so Jeff for Sale 1 saying, good response from the Raptors. Just have to close it out. You're right. We got fourth quarter, still a decent lead here. Let me find exactly what our lead is at the moment. So the Raptors are currently, so it's 84-68. Raps are still up significantly, double digits here. This is good stuff, guys. Good stuff. You know, the Wizards have had their moments missing open looks. We've capitalized and made the most of ours, and we're being rewarded at the moment. But let's protect home court, and as Jet for Sale 1 saying, let's close this thing out. Howard Man saying, Fred VanVleet is the secret pygmy love child of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. How is that for a statement? I love it. I'm just going to go ahead and agree with you, Howard. Howie just spitting truth right now. T-Bird Brad saying Siakam, ice cold second half. I knew someone was going to say that. Definitely not the first half that he had, but I mean, massive net positive thus far this game. He's got 26 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block. Hasn't been as efficient as the game's gone on, but really just couldn't miss in the mid-range there early. I think has a 3-pointer as well, at least. Captain Saverbro says needs to take better shots. Yeah, just basically talking about Siakam's shot selections falling off a little bit. He was playing bully ball there in the first half, was not settling for anything. Let's see if we can get a bit of that going in the fourth quarter, which is now underway. If you guys are viewing with us right now, there's 92 of you. Stick around. Wow, deep 3 there for Washington, just spills out. They do not hit it. I believe that's Bertans who chucked that up. But yeah, the Raptors get away with one there. I guess you're forcing a shot from deep. It makes sense. But Scotty Barnes driving right now on Denny. He's going to take this. Gets fouled. Love to see that. He's going to the free throw line. I love what Scotty Barnes has been doing. A lot of people are frustrated that he's not looking to score enough, which I kind of get and I can relate to at times, but he's playing the right way. Anything that he's making the right reads, putting a lot of pride and effort into his defense, knocking down a free throw there to get the first of his 2. This is awesome. Scotty Barnes is a complete game. Love to see what he's doing. And here comes his second. Takes it. Just misses it there. Harrell to rebound it. Still a great game thus far for Scotty Barnes. Holiday brings it down. 85-68 is the score. There's 11 minutes left here in the game. Harrell in the post fakes the pass. He gets doubled by Banton and Boucher. Canadian connection on defense. They get the strip or the turnover at very least. Raptors ball. Great pressure out of the double team there. Cut off his passing options. Suffocated him down low. And it's coughed up. Oh, you love to see it. Yeah, tried to do the risky pass to the interior, and Scotty Barnes getting a hand in there, helping them out on the double team. Banton's got it. Oh, he looked like he was going to take that 3. Doesn't. Finds Yuta Watanabe, who drives. Wow, hard take to the rim. No foul called, just misses. But great offensive tenacity. Going to the rim and challenging the Wizards there. Maybe could have been a foul, but play resumes. Denny's at the other end. Oh, no. That was kind of unnecessary. Denny Ogdevia, I think it was off of him going out of bounds, but Yuta Watanabe, being the workhorse that he is, tried to throw it back into his teammate and ended up touching the out of bounds line. So it is staying Wizards ball for the moment, but good effort there by Yuta, even though probably would have been our ball had he not touched it. He's in a workhorse mind state at the moment. He can't turn it off. Susie saying Scotty's smart team player, not too greedy. Yeah, he seems like he could care less for how much he's looked at as a primary scorer at this time. And the rap on Scotty Barnes has always been that he's a 10 out of 10 teammate. He's used to playing on a very good roster too at Montverde, where he had Cade Cunningham, Moses Moody. Shaden Sharp. I forget his name, but Sharp, who's also got drafted. These are old guys on a high school team. And FSU made him come off the bench. He understands playing a role and contributing. He's been building himself up the right way. And credit to Nick Nurse, who's done a great job with the rookie this season too. Washington scores. It's 85-70. We're up by 15. And here's Yuta Watanabe giving it back to Banton at the other end. Boucher sets the pick. Oh, nice. Okay, I got to say it right now. I'm putting on the Flames. There has been a clear connection and pronounced chemistry between Chris Boucher and Banton. The 1 and the 5. The two Canadians getting it going. And then an offensive foul here on Washington. I believe it was Dinwiddie who picked it up. Dinwiddie's arguing that, but it's Raptors ball. It's a game of runs, and the Raptors are on one of their own at the moment. And I got to say, the bench chemistry of Banton and Boucher. Canadian connections got it clicking right now. I would love to see this be a lasting trend for the Raptors. Zero in the chat saying, SMH, Wizards selling my bag. I don't know where Unknown Anonymous is at the moment, and there's a little bit of game left here to play, right? Like, the Raptors don't have this in the bag, but he was pretty firm on the Wizards winning, so, you know, maybe we'll hear from him, maybe we won't. And there you go, Yuta Watanabe making sure we don't hear from him with a big layup. He's got another basket for the Raps. He's had a great two-way night for us. Getting it done. The bench has come to life versus Washington. Banton picks up the foul there. That was a late whistle, but Banton's clapping. He doesn't care. He knows he's into the Wizards on defense right now. Wraps up by 19. An unknown anonymous saying, I'm still here. All right, he's not hiding. He's still got his Wizards winning this one, but we'll see what happens. Oh, Bertans, pump fake. Nice little mid-range move, puts up the floater and gets it. 9 minutes left right now in the game. Scotty Barnes directing the offense, pointing around. He goes right at Denny Ogdevia. Denny does a decent job of stopping him, but they're in the post battling. Scotty? Oh, wow. He just made Denny his son, but wait. Okay, I gotta bite my tongue. Never mind, that's a travel. I thought it was a foul. Whatever. Scotty playing some bully ball down low, ends up supposedly traveling with the ball, picks up the carry, so the ref blows it down. It's Washington ball. All right, Denny, you held your ground this time, but Scotty's coming for you. Dinwiddie with the ball at the moment. Passes to Holiday, who's covered by Barnes. The Wizards looking a little discombobulated. Yes, I said discombobulated on offense at the moment. Dinwiddie with a nice take, but misses. No way. That was late. Boucher's upset. I thought that was straight up. Come on now. That's... Ball doesn't lie. I know Dinwiddie's about to miss at least one. I'm putting on the ice right now. That was a cold call by the refs. T-Bird Brad asking, how do you travel while dribbling? Referring to what was just called on Scotty Barnes. Yeah, I don't know, Brad. I didn't think that was a foul either, but what was called, and then at the other end, we get hit with a bit of a debatable foul, in my opinion, too, but we've shot more free throws than in this game. We've still been, or I guess now the same amount, I believe. I haven't noticed the refs a ton, but there's been a couple moments, and that was one of them where, you know, I felt a little bit slighted, but Raps still up decent here. Delano Banton with the ball. Oh, I love it. Chris Boucher's moving around so much off ball right now. This is just a joy to see. Jacks up the three. Misses it, but he was fouled there. Getting the Washington Wizards defender to run through him a bit there at the end of his release. And Harrell's asking for a challenge, but I don't think he wants that. That looked like a foul to me. And the refs finally come in to give us a little bit of help with the whistle here. Chris is shooting three. If he had hit that three, that would have been a real exclamation point on a bit of a recovery night for Boucher. As I said, a lot of the old issues that I've had with him this season, missing three-pointers, which I get happens, you know, here and there. But for a guy who knows how to shoot it, despite how ugly the form is, he's been missing like everything. And look at last season, right? He's a formidable three-point guy. Not this year, but he'll be taking 3 free throws at least. And then the energy has been there off ball. Defense, he's done okay. I know there's been a few different times where Gafford's been out there. He stood his ground. There was one play especially, I think, where he was actually guarding Beal and did pretty good. But shouts out to Chris Boucher. He's been a needed spark off of the bench. Him and Banton got the chemistry going. And as I said, he's going to the free throw line, but I believe Washington has challenged the foul that was laid on Montrezl Harrell. In real time, it did look like Harrell laid him out a bit, but we'll see. We'll know in a moment. And shout out the 100 viewers who are watching right now. It's awesome to have this kind of turnout for games. I know we have a 10-13 record, but I've been alluding to this all matchup so far. We've got a homestand, which, I mean, you win last night versus the Bucks, or not last night, but last game. You get a W versus a team without Giannis, so you take advantage of that situation. And then tonight, you got the Wizards. Still no OG, still no Birch. You don't have everybody here with you, but you're up big at the moment. And if you can win tonight, well, then you tee yourself up to potentially get back to a 500 record at 13-13, facing the Knicks and also afterwards the Kings. So the Kings the Kings are the Kings with or without Luke Walton. And you guys will remember, right after we faced them, I said, I think we might have just got Luke Walton fired. I think the next day or the day after, he does end up getting fouled. I guess I'm not like bragging about saying that, but it does feel cool. We called it. The Raptors kind of put the nail in that coffin. I sound evil right now, but hey, I got my side. I'm repping it. And I mean, the Knicks have been discombobulated. I'm using that word again. The bing bong is the only thing good going on in New York right now. Everything else is just not happening basketball-wise, but the street memes are still there. And here we go. Paul Blunt, a legend in the chat, laying down a super chat, saying Goody Mob. Yes, sir. I don't have my own animations on right now, but the Goody Mob is in the building. Happy to see over 100 people in the building, too. I mean, you guys make this the production that it is. And here we go. Marcel Martin matching a super chat right now, coming in and saying Goody Mob as well. Love to see the support you guys have given me. I mean, this is awesome. I did worry at first, like people tune into Raptors Digest to see Ben and Riker. I was a fan, so I know what it's like to be on that side of things. So to have you guys come in and accept me and recognize me as part of the brand and make these live streams so much fun. I mean, I don't got anything other to say other than thank you. Really, I mean, you guys are the best. I mean it when I say it. Raptors up 90-73 at the moment. Oh, and another super chat right now by my boy Champion Gold Gaming. Shouts out, oh, that's the wrong animation, saying Raptors need Pascal Siakam's cheeks. Man, Champion Gold's always good for one of these. I don't know if they need to trade it. I mean, him and his cheeks have done a decent job tonight. Pause. People in the chat letting out an Ayo, but but shout out to Champion Gold Gaming for the super chat, man. Much appreciated. Chris Boucher misses his last free throw. I believe he hit the first two, but the call stands. And right now, Dinwiddie's bringing it back for the Wizards. And in the chat saying, I can't stand that ping pong thing. I agree. It is kind of getting annoying. People are beating this trend to death. But the original video is pretty funny. The fact that you can just walk out into the streets of New York with your phone camera and a microphone and just have people say them like stuff that'll make you viral. I mean, it speaks to New Yorkers. They are built different. But 110 live viewers. North Side's built different. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I missed the last play here, but I think we have a stoppage. Was it Harrell Harrell getting fouled, I believe. Kind of getting mobbed under the rim there. Nothing easy. I like it. But he's shooting two at the line. Just under 8 minutes left in the game. Harrell's first shot. This is taking a year for him to release. Okay, misses it. And Gary Trent Jr. checking back into the game. I still need Gary to go out there and get me a three-pointer. Let me see if Scotty's gotten a steal. You guys can see my bets there in the top right corner or top left corner of the screen. No, so Scotty Barnes still only has one block. He's got just about 8 minutes here to go get me a steal or a block. That'll cash that part of the bet. And then, of course, Gary, please go and get a three. He's had a rough night. Hasn't really shot the ball much. So he's in a bit of a slump. Nothing to worry about. Gary Trent Jr.'s been balling. He's been consistent, but a natural slump, and at least the Raptors are still winning. Wow. I'm going to put on the ice emoji right now for what Montrezl Harrell just did. Missing both free throws. Love to see that. Music to my ears. And Scotty Barnes at the other end. Backing down Kuzma in the mid-range. Just misses it. Shot a little bit too strong there. And Dinwiddie bringing it back down. I gotta say, Dinwiddie's one of the guys who's been really into the NFT space. I'm just kind of nerding out mentioning blockchain again, but I do know Dinwiddie is kind of, oh, wow. KCP, he's having a big night. Gets the shooter's bounce there on the rim. Big three-pointer there. We're up by 14 with 7 minutes left. A little bit over that, but Raps still with a decent cushion, hoping we can build on it. But I do like Dinwiddie as a personality in the game. He's humble and works hard. Wow, Gary Trent Jr. with a really good shot and just misses it. And then Harrell looking like he might have tore something, but hobbles for a second, and he's back on his 2 feet good. Oh, Dinwiddie with a quick move to the rim. Okay, I can't say nice things about Dinwiddie. He's turning it on right now. Nice little basket. We're up by 12. I wonder if Nick Nurse is going to call a timeout. Probably not. Yeah, definitely not. Van Vliet cuts in the mid-range. Oh, gets the shooter's bounce. There you go. We respond with some good luck of our own. Fred Van Vliet, what has he got at the moment? So Van Vliet on the night has 10 and 4 assists. Yeah, he hasn't shot the ball a crazy amount either, but getting a nice little basket there for us. And then a big stop, Chris Boucher under the rim. They foul Fred in transition. Montrezl Harrell's been getting beaten up a little bit. Yo, he's rocking some cool Reebok kicks. Those look like the Jordan, I want to say 11s. I'm like a casual sneakerhead. Even less than casual. Oh, he did get elbowed there by Chris Boucher. All right, we get away with one. Chris Boucher gets the rebound, elbows Montrezl in the face. He kind of hurt his ankle, it looked like there earlier in a couple possessions ago. But Montrezl Harrell checking out of the game, that was ugly for him. He got a little bit beaten up. But thankfully, no calls against the Raptors. The whistle evening out a little bit here as the fourth quarter continues. Pascal Siakam with the ball. He had a monster first. It's back in Fred Van Vliet's hand. Jacks it up in the mid-range and just misses, but it looks like Precious. He is fouled. It was an off-ball foul, though. Irrelevant to the shot, so I believe we'll be inbounding it and retaining possession with 14 seconds on the shot clock. I apologize if I missed anything going down in the chat. I believe the last super chat that was handed out was Champion Gold Gaming making a comment about Siakam's cheeks. Go figure. He's always saying this stuff, but he's good for a laugh. Shout out Champion Gold. All right, Siakam in the post. He's backing down KCP, playing his bully ball again. There you go. Draws a foul. Good things happen when you initiate the contact and don't stray away. Pascal turning it on a little bit. He's going to be going to the stripe to shoot too. Let's see. Yeah, that was full on hit his shooting hand, or I guess the support hand. That's a well-earned foul there by Spicy P. Zero saying Drake is 2Z sliding right now. I don't know why I find that so funny, but Drake's dancing at the crib, at the embassy, I like to call it. His crib there on the bridle path. He's 2Z sliding throughout that joint at the moment, watching the Raptors play. Marcel Martin saying, come on, Gary. Marcel is riding this bet with me right now, so he wants to see Scotty Burns get that extra defensive stat, as well as Gary Trent Jr. knocking down one more three. That would be awesome to see, but the real victory here is the Raptors ending this with a win. Bets are always just a cherry on top. Beal from 3 misses that. He's had an off night. I like it. The Raptors have, we've played him well, but he's missed some open stuff too. And we've just been capitalizing on all the Wizards' mistakes. Siakam in the post again. He's playing bully ball. All right, I got to say, the whistle has officially tilted to helping us out a little bit here. Pascal does not hit that shot, but he ends up going to the line, tries to put it off the glass high, and I believe Kuzma picking up the personal foul there on Pascal. He's getting rewarded when he's initiating the contact and playing bully ball. Love to see it. And shout out the 105 viewers in here, man. I'm going to drop another like spike animation. Appreciate everybody who's tuning in. Stick around. We got a big lead here, but we still got to play good to keep up with it. I'm sure the Wizards have not just given up. And this could be the start of a nice little home streak that we desperately need. Siakam shooting his second here. He hit his first. Score is currently 94-78 in favor of Toronto. Saying, can I take a wild guess and say Josh's middle name is Matthew? That's funny. My middle name is not Matthew. It's Joshua Dean Goodwin. That's my full name. So Dean is the middle name. But, just throwing out a random little guess. And I got to say, it's tough saying your name because people probably think I'm just hesitating. But his name is literally like U 3 H's. But shouts out to thank you for tuning in. My middle name is not Matthew, though. It is Dean. Paul Blunt and Marcel getting hyped up in the chat. HS22 saying, I wonder if Siakam is rounding into form or Washington is just a bad matchup for them. You know, Washington has some guys around his size. I mean, you got to deal with Gafford, who's a beast. Oh my God, Beal missing the first free throw. He is out of it tonight. I got to put on the ice because he's ice cold and not the right way tonight for the Wizards. And I'm going to take that all day. Raptors been doing everything they can for their part. But yeah, I would just say that Pascal, I would agree with what Tom Moreau said earlier about the spacing looking noticeably better right now for Toronto. And Pascal's good, right? We didn't think, even me who was like, yeah, trade Pascal, I still knew he would figure it out. So I'm happy to see that come to fruition for him. Gary misses a 3. Oh, no. He's had an off night. Nice. Draws the offensive foul there. Fred VanVleet still on his stomach on the ground. A moving pick for sure. Hopefully he's okay. He looks a little bit hurt right now. Fred's normally pretty quick to pop back up, but yeah, the refs, I mean, the whistle has at very least been fair in helping the Raptors at this moment. So you'll love to see that. People get pretty tough on the officials in the Raptors fan base, and I don't blame you. I mean, especially when I was younger, I would get so mad at the refs. I mean, now you just kind of accept it as the human part of the game that makes mistakes. I really don't think they're trying to rig it in anybody's way. But not having superstars on the team that get a lot of love, you tend not to get the calls. I mean, it's like the LeBron James, the Dame Lillards, like those guys, they do get nice treatment from the whistle, and you got to earn it. They're skilled, they deserve it. But the Raps historically have had a rough time with it. Right now, it's at very minimum fair, if not tilted in our favor a little bit. I got to say it. I mean, I'm going to complain when the refs are mistreating us, but I'm also going to tip my hat when they're doing the right job and getting the Raptors some free throws and more possessions. Fred VanVleet, like I said, picking up a moving pick foul there. And Marcel saying this year will be ups and downs for everyone. Definitely. I've dropped expectations. You know, we could be anywhere from the 6th seed to like, you know, back to the lottery, and I would just be the same guy the whole way through. Happy that, you know, even if we got nothing out of the upcoming draft, I mean, clearly we're going to have a draft pick no matter what's going on, but I'm just saying in a hypothetical where I know that we have no draft picks next year, like let's say that was the situation, I would still just be happy watching this year, seeing guys develop, because I can promise you the experience and chemistry, it's going to carry over and build momentum for this team as we build back to contending. I've been very clear. I feel like the core of this team going forward into the future, and maybe even more so distant future, should be OG, Gary Trent, and then Pascal Siakam. Oh my God, I'm gonna get some hate for this, but Scotty Barnes. Pascal, if he sticks around and figures it out, great. Got no issue with that. I got to be practical. And Fred VanVleet, I do hope he stays around too. But the top 3 dogs, I think those are going to be the guys I just mentioned, OG, Gary, and Scotty. So we already have those dudes. We're not looking to go to the draft to find that player. Of course, we have a void at center that we want fixed. But all in all, we're in a very good situation. We just need to be patient. And shout out to the 105 people who are sitting here listening to me rant about my Raptors all night. You guys are the best. And then, clarifying, I couldn't think of a cool name, and I didn't want to use my real name, so my brain just went, I've been there too. It's definitely unique. Roger Knox saying, hey guys, we have a game to win if we stick with it. Roger, get hyped in the chat. You are completely correct. We've been sticking with it. There was times where that lead, or I guess deficit for Washington got around 12, even flirting with probably a single-digit deficit at some points, but Raptors keep their foot on the gas. Jet for Sale 1 and I have been saying it's a game of runs, and we've stayed the course. Failed alley-oop attempt there from Fred to Precious. Dinwiddie coming back with it for the Wizards. There's 4:40 left in this game. If the Wizards have any hope, they'll probably want to do something soon. KCP gets fouled, taking a floater. So he's had a great night. What's KCP got at the moment? So he's got 24, 2 and 2. Been very efficient. 4 of 4 from three-point range. And I even remember him getting a nice little bounce there off of the rim. He's just been hot, lucky. Everything tonight has gone right for him, but not enough to figure out this Wizards mess. As much as we've jumbled their stars, the stars have had off nights, definitely. But hey, you know, if we had the reputation of putting stars through off nights, then that's a pretty good rep to have. And we've had it before, so I'm happy to see that coming back. Beal has got nothing easy. Kuzma's had moments, but hasn't really consistently been there. And that's why the Raptors are still up by 14 with under 5 minutes left to go in this one. Hold on and believe, folks. Hold on and believe. People asking where Ben is right now. He will be back. He'll be doing the live post game with Riker. I believe both of them will be on it. So definitely tune in. And Precious, just saying, forget this. I'm going to the rim. Flames are on for Precious Achiuwa. That was a huge dunk. Cut on the baseline. Went up strong and jams it down for a few more insurance points on this one. 4 minutes left as Bradley Beal takes up the ball. And look at that. Right there to meet him at half court is Scotty Barnes. Come on, Scotty. Get me a defensive stat. Put him through the blender right now. Okay, Precious called for a foul there. It is bonus, so Washington's going to be shooting. That was soft, but let's see what happens here on the replay. Okay, we don't have a replay yet, but it does look like Washington will be shooting at least 2 here, as it's the bonus, and yeah, Achiuwa getting called for a foul there. Jeremy W. saying we should really all be rooting for Pascal to be a beast so his trade value can increase. Jeremy, I don't want to say too much because people are pretty hard on what I say about Pascal, and I get it, right? I agree with you completely. That's what I've been thinking this whole game. I'm still on that bandwagon of I do think this team needs to move in a different direction. But if he ends up, recovering and being great this season and we keep him, then I'm happy, right? I just want winning verdicts. That's the practical business part of it, and you got to do whatever it takes to get to there. But you're right. No matter which way you flip it, great game for Pascal, right? So getting his respect back, his confidence back, which he desperately needed. Roger Knox saying, yeah, hold on and believe. Precious hype. Yeah, that was a great bucket there for Precious. Even though he picks up the foul on defense, he's had an awesome game. Pascal getting right back to business in the mid-range. There we go. I can only talk so much slander. I almost cussed there. I can't be cussing on the pods. So much slander I can put on Pascal's name, but at the end of the day, coming out and playing great. I definitely got to go check out that podcast he did with JJ Redick. People in the chat saying it was pretty good. Someone saying it was kind of a weird listen. I got to go check that out. But Pascal's been going through some stuff, right? The whole fan base, even though we love him and embrace him, there are people out there who are being much harder on him than I am. I keep it to like a business perspective. I know some people are personal about it with, really wanting him gone. And probably, you never know what a guy's inbox looks like, what people say to him in public. I like to think Toronto's a classy city, but when he's been struggling, I'm sure there's been no shortage of hate. And not to mention, a guy's going to be hard on himself. Yes, he gets $33 million, so at the end of the day, he's laughing, he's the winner. But he wants to be great. He knows what it feels like to be a champion. He plays for more than just money, and we've been knowing that about Pascal. So getting his respect tonight, even throwing in a little bit of bully ball. So yeah, Ghetto Pat in the chat saying, I like that name. Ghetto Pat saying Pascal's 31. Pascal haters quiet tonight. I'm going to eat my words a little bit more. I've already been doing that earlier on the pod, but yeah, 31 points for him tonight. Let me actually go read out the official stat line here, even though Pat reminded me in the chat. So 31, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 10 of 19. So he's over 50% considerably. 10 of 12 from the free throw line. That's that bully ball. He's forced them to foul. And then 2 of 5 from 3. So I'll take that. I'll definitely take that. Good job to Pascal. Tipping my hat and zipping my lips when it comes to slandering. At least for now. Neto with a nice bucket there. He's had a solid game. Kind of disappeared there as the Raptors were on their run, but he's been a steady grinder for Washington. Fred VanVleet coming back the other way with the ball. Gives it to Pascal. Pascal wants to go right back to the paint. He's covered by Kispert, the rookie. I liked him at Gonzaga. He was a lot of fun to watch. That whole Gonzaga team was absolutely stacked, but Pascal misses his shot, and it's now the Wizards who are on offense. Fred VanVleet guarding in the post. Nice job. Oh, that was a late whistle again. I'm not saying it wasn't a foul, but that was called late. We'll get a replay here in a second, but the score is 99-85. Raptors still leading. I'm happy to see that my scoreboards maintained a good rate of refreshing. Sometimes it gets caught back so late, but right now it seems to be pretty up to time. And you love to see that. We have some technical issues here and there. I'm not quite as whiz kid with it as Ben Rogers is. That man's got like probably 20 different hotkeys, just doing different animations. You guys know the vibes with Ben. But if you guys are watching right now, there's 105 of you. Big time love to everybody who's come out. But if you're watching this and you haven't liked yet, drop a like, man. It makes a huge difference for us in the channel. Appreciate everybody who's following along. And we've gotten to see a really good game tonight. Raptors about to break the 100 threshold. Siakam in the paint, gives it up to Scotty. All right, gives right back to Pascal, who's going at Kispert, the rookie. In the mid-range, that's a good shot, but misses it. Pascal almost with his steal, but picks up the foul instead. All right, so his third personal foul. I've been criticizing the whistle the past couple minutes here, but these are probably fouls. Pascal picks it up, but I like it that he's doing the full court press. He's gonna, you know that little bit, you bait someone into making a risky pass. You act like you're not looking and then double back and try to pick it off. That's what Pascal did, but ends up sending a Wizard to the line to shoot 2. Hits the first one. Who is this that's shooting at the moment? I thought for a second that might have been Holiday, but no, it's a different player. Number 5 on Washington. Hits his first, puts up the second, and it's good. Someone's saying go Ticats right now. I do believe the Grey Cup is being played tonight. I'm such a bad Canadian not being in the loop with that, but I thought the Argos were probably playing. Oh, Precious missing the 3. Ticats got a loyal fan base, man. I went to go see a Ticats game, and the people in Hamilton get up for that team. I do like the CFL, even though I don't follow it. I guess I'm a hypocrite, right? I want to see it do well, but don't support it. Oh, well. Gary Trent Jr. with a nice steal there. Someone update me on the Grey Cup score. I am curious. Raptors on offense. That was a nice little pick off there by Gary Trent. It was a sloppy pass by Washington, but Raptors capitalizing on the Wizards' mistakes like they've been doing all night. We're up 99-88. We're flirting with 100 here. Pascal in the paint gets it stripped, or at very least loses it. Wizards are coming back. Wow, that was a risky lead pass. It goes out of bounds. Raptors are coming back with the ball. And Vince in the chat saying, I'm a Raptors fan from Hong Kong. Nice to meet you, bro. Vince, welcome to the live stream. We're happy to have you in here. And I always say the Raptors fan base is all over the world. Vince, welcome. Shout out all the way there in Hong Kong. Happy to have you here. Speaking of just Vince in the chat, we got 115 others. So shouts out to everybody who's been tuning in. And I got to say, I didn't want to harp on it too much, but Unknown Anonymous, if you're in here right now, you're awfully quiet, man. Where's that Wizards money line bet you were talking up? Or I guess saying the Wizards were going to win. Champagne getting buckets right now. It's in the bag. 101-88 with a minute left to go. Raptors have really played their tails off tonight, and now the benches are clearing for both sides, and you get to see the reserves come in. Svi Mikhailuk had a nice little start to the game, but disappeared a bit. Good little outlet pass there to Isaac Bonga, who is fouled. I think his name's actually pronounced Isaac, my bad there. But he'll be shooting too. I heard someone in the chat say that he's had a nice little season down with the G League. I don't hear as much about Isaac Bonga, but that doesn't mean he's not playing great with the G League affiliate. Raptors know how to use that team, man. They've brought up so many guys throughout that pipeline. Oh no, Jeremy W saying the Argos choked that lead, LOL. I might have been missing it in the chat, but if someone updated me on... Yeah, it sounds like someone said go Ticats earlier. Sounds like the Argos might have been losing the Grey Cup, might have already lost. Like I said, I'm a bad Canadian for not tuning in, but if there's some of the game left after this, I'll definitely go check it out. I'm just not willing to take a night off from the Raptors. Right now, Washington with the ball. As I said, we've got the reserves out there playing. It's a nice little cushion of a lead that we got at the moment, 102-88. 50 seconds left. I'm in no jinx risk here. We have won this one, ladies and gentlemen. 2-0 in our past couple games at home, and it just feels great. You spent the Tampa Bay season when what felt like purgatory. Getting through it. Obviously rewarded with the gift that is Scotty Barnes as a lottery pick. The Raptors were fortunate. We did the right thing and drafted him. But overall, you're back at home and you spend so much time complaining about being on the road. Finally, home court starting to feel like it. We've got energy players on this roster who are going to thrive inside of Scotiabank. And tonight, a guy like Pascal Siakam, I got to give him his flowers. He's got 31, 6, and 3. I already read out his stat line recently, but he's been hooping. He's out of the game. It's the reserves now for the last minute. But just a ton of positives. Fred VanVleet was, I'll say, quiet for Fred. He's having an all-star campaign this season, but still 10 points and kind of showed up at the right times. And then KCP was just a beast all night for the Washington Wizards. Wiz shoot the 3, they miss it. And then nice little contest there by David Johnson. I got to say, I'm blown away at the size of David Johnson. I knew he was a pretty big guard, but he looked like kind of, I mistook him for a moment as Scotty Barnes. So that'll tell you, he's sizable out there. I have not seen a lot of David Johnson, but I've also heard good things from the 905 pipeline about how he's been doing. And here we are, folks. It is the end of the game. What a game as well. I've been mentioning that we have an opportunity in front of us to get back to 500 over the next 2 games at home. Like I said, 2-0 at home, and then you got the Knicks, and you got the Kings coming into town. I mean, these are doable games. If you have any hopes of making the playoffs, they're what you would describe as the Kings game, a gimme. The Knicks are down bad, so I think kick them when they're down. It sounds mean to say, but yeah, kick them when they're down. Go ahead and get your 2 points. Protect home court. This will be crucial to having a successful season in terms of standings. As I said, I am pushing away expectations on the macro view of things. Like, if this team ends up in the lottery, I don't care. If this team ends up making the playoffs, I don't care. I mean, obviously I want to see the Raptors win, but it's not like I have one outcome in mind that will only please me. I'm just happy to see this team playing, young guys developing, and yes, we're turning the tide. So I guess me saying I don't care doesn't really fit. I'm very happy to see W's coming in, but if they're not coming in, then, okay, we'll take a step back and retool accordingly. But Pascal Siakam really waking up tonight. I've been giving him his respect all game. I know at times I've been the Pascal hater, but sure, I'll continue to come up here and eat my words. I'm like the Ezekiel Elliott meme. I'm just feasting on my words right now. He didn't have the most efficient game, but still stepped up and scored 31 for you. And just overall had a great positive presence, especially in the first half. He had 24 in the first half and was just work in the mid-range, learned to play a bit of bully ball. I mean, you love to see it. And we still have 107 live viewers with us. So man, if you've made it this far, you've enjoyed this Raptors W and the live stream, we're going to drop one last like spike because why not? Help out the channel if you guys are watching. You already are doing a ton. And it's much appreciated. So I'm going to go through one quick last look through the chat here. Okay, so oh no, these are projections for the season, but I'm looking to see what the score is. Okay, here it is. Roger Knox saying Hamilton 27, Raptors 19, Hamilton are our Eastern Conference champions, Grey Cup next year. So Hamilton 27, Raptors 19. Are you saying the Argos have 19 and Hamilton has 27? I might be misreading this, but it does sound like the consensus is the Argos are down. I like the CFL, but as I've been saying, I don't really support it as much as I should. Those guys hit hard. And I do firmly think this could start a debate. I think that a championship CFL team could beat a championship D1 team. And a lot of people hear that and they're like, no way, D1's way better. These are already guys that were sick D1 players that are in the CFL. Not everybody gets to go to the NFL, right? So I think the CFL, it's underrated in terms of viewership. But people talking about the Toronto City potentially ending up with an NFL team, that'd be crazy. I mean, people can't drink in public, so I feel like tailgating would take a bit of a step back if that were to happen, which seems to be the culture around the NFL, of course. You guys already know that, but I'm going on a football rant. Back to what I just saw. That was awesome. The chat getting involved tonight, all night. T-Bird, Brad, giving me some props. This was an awesome game to call, but I did not hit my bet. So sorry, Marcel. This was a bet that we were splitting. We were riding it together. We didn't end up getting the 3-pointers from Gary. He had 2 in the first half, so it looked definitely possible. And then Scotty Barnes had a block pretty early as well. We were on pace, and both those guys, I mean, Scotty played good. Gary is in a mini slump, I'll say right now. I'm not worried about him, but he hasn't been shooting like he normally is. We lose the bet. I think overall we're still definitely positive on the bets this season. Anybody who follows along can place bets through Bet365, and I'll just add in, always bet responsibly as much as I like to have fun with it. These aren't crazy portions that we're betting, and I definitely don't want you to be making huge money or losing all your money by my words. So just tune in, have a good time, enjoy responsibly. And we still have 100 viewers, so definitely respect to everybody who's still hanging out with us. And Ben and Riker should be on their post-game pod soon, and I'll hand you guys over to them for the typical Raptors Digest show. Marcel Martin saying, OG, is it true that Serge had better scarves than you? He's quoting that, so I don't know if that was just mentioned on the broadcast, but the scarf saga was absolutely hilarious. I miss Serge Ibaka. What a guy. A lot of fun on and off the court to watch. So Roger Knox correcting himself, saying Argos 19. So yeah, I think there might be a little bit of time left in the game, but yeah, I'm going to go check out the Grey Cup and see what's going on. And right before I check out, of course, Marcel Martin here to hit up the channel with one more super chat saying, Banton led our team in assists. Point God. And Banton, I can't really say enough about him. I think that we came into this season realizing that, okay, Banton and Malachi are going to be a close competition for the backup point guard role. And if we're going to make one guy into that dude, maybe we should go with Banton because he's got that length. And even though Malachi's a good defender, don't sleep on Malachi on defense. I mean, Banton's got the size advantage, which is so obvious and helpful. I think they picked him to be the dude, and he's been delivering, man. How many assists did he get tonight? Delano Banton ended up with, he had noticeable chemistry with Chris Boucher, which was beautiful to see. Delano Banton with 6 assists tonight, leading the team. Our team is ranking pretty low in assists and pace of play. I want to say last 3 spots in the league low. But to have a rookie doing the job for us tonight, it makes sense that you're going to struggle, having that as your nightly approach. But tonight it pays off with a 102-90 W. Delano Banton and Chris Boucher giving some nice spark off the bench. Also, Precious Achiuwa, 10, 14, and 2. Why have I not been talking about him? What a game. I was hyping him up as the night was going. He shot 50%, had a steal as well. Only 2 turnovers, 2 personal fouls. Pretty efficient game for Precious, and just anytime he's thriving, I'm happy because I see his motor, and I just know he's going to be a player. And especially if you get him in the right backup role with your 7-footer there, and everything's figured out. Everything's roses and happiness in the Raptor land. We're not there yet, but really great positive signs in the future and a potential chance to get back to 500 on this homestand, guys. We got the job done versus the Bucks, got the job done versus the Wizards, and now I think it's the Kings we have. It's either the Kings or the Knicks. Either way, definitely tune back in when we're doing that, guys. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I got to say, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate everybody coming out. Oh, okay, and never mind. Before I sign off here, I got to point out that Roger Knox said the game is over. So Ticats are champions. Wow. Shouts out to Hamilton Ticats. They got some loyal fans. Of course, I would have been cheering for the Argos, but you got to love a city that gets behind the CFL the way Hamilton does. Rewarded with a Grey Cup championship. There you go. So shouts out the Ticats. Shouts out the Raptors. And this was a lot of fun, guys. Again, I got to say, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for coming out and supporting the way you guys do. If you're watching this for one last second here, taking a second to like always helps me out a ton. I'm looking forward to getting right back on here with you. And let me double check exactly when the next game is. Okay, so I'm out to lunch. Our next game's against OKC. I was pretty sure that we have the Knicks and the Kings. Okay, so right after the Thunder game, which is on Wednesday, it's going to go to the Friday night matchup versus the Knicks. And then on Monday, it's the Kings. So some pretty spaced out games here for the Raptors. They'll be rested. Let's see what we can get done here. And I believe they're all at home. So a big homestand and a chance to actually get above 500. This is awesome. We'll see. And I mean, people are correcting me all over the place. People are saying Grey Cup is not today. I don't know what I'm saying about the CFL anymore, but shouts out the Ticats. They got a W and I think are now going to the Grey Cup. Clearly, we don't have a Grey Cup Digest yet. Might stay that way for a while, but shouts out to all the fans who make the Raptors Digest special and make these live streams a ton of fun. You guys are truly the best, and I'm signing off.